We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. Corner judges go for 1, 2, yes, he needs more. And
they're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College, what? Right out front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. Corner judges go for 1, 2, yes, he needs more. And
they're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in. Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting night of college esports right here on ECU Live. Of course, I'm your host, Paulie Hype. Woo! And we are here once again for another CECC qualifying tournament. This time around, it's going to be the Texas qualifiers with all the biggest, best schools in Texas. You know, everything is bigger down in Texas, so this tournament is of a monumental affair, as the qualifying and winning teams will celebrate and enter and offer to bid into our grand final event, the Collegiate Commissioners Cup, which is going down May 6th and 7th down in Arlington, Texas. That event's presented by McDonald's. But tonight we're here for the qualifier, which teams the bid to down there. Of course, some amazing teams here that I'm seeing on the roster as we take a look at Group A, which will be Lynn, UT Arlington, UT San Antonio. Over to Group B, got TAMU, Houston, Stag U. So 6 big-time teams that will be competing tonight. And we'll start off the broadcast with Group A Round 1, UTA versus Antonio. Group B Round 2 will be TAMU versus the winner of that. And then the finals are still to be determined. So, without further ado, this is going to be in Valorant. All the marbles are on the line. One of the most competitive college esports, if not the most, on the planet. I can't wait to watch some of this amazing action. So, without further ado, it's time for the 10 seconds of hype. Woo! Everything's bigger in Texas, and so is the 10 seconds of hype for the open qualifier. Ugh. Woo! It's going down, baby, and I can't wait for it. I'm going to be watching all the college esports action, but we're not playing on PlayStation. No, get it out of here. It's mouse and keyboard time. Casters, over to you and show us, tell us, lead the story. Amazing Egypt, Texas, Valorant action cast.
Thank you so much, Paulie. That's right, everybody. If I had a cowboy hat, I'd be wearing one because here we are at the CECC Lone Star Qualifier. I am Septilence, joined by Catnator, and we have got a whole bunch of Valorant for you here today. Cat, before we jump into any of the game, any of the players, any of the teams, how are you feeling, man? How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good today. You know why?
Why?
Because another team at the end of this event is making it to the CECC National Championship.
That's me snapping because when I clap, I peek my mic. So instead, I'm going to do like a poetry slam snap thing instead. But it's super exciting because we are definitely trying to get the best of the best, the highest echelon of teams into the CECC. And of course, if it's taking place in Texas, you know, we might as well give that Lone Star region a little bit of its own personal spotlight here to see which one of these teams can qualify through Valorant to get into Arlington. And it's one of few teams that'll get to say they're really playing in their own backyard.
Yeah, absolutely so. And when it comes to teams currently with bids, we've got just a couple. When it comes to the regions, the compasses, the South region, Winthrop qualifying through, the East region, Fisher College, no surprises there. In the West, Arizona State, the Midwest, Northwood, Canada, St. Clair Saints, and with Padilla, the Female Cup, Carleton University will be making their way in. And just recently, last week, in the last chance qualifier, the Dark Knights punched their ticket.
And I will say a lot of those, I think there's not really going to be kind of an expectation or like a dark horse or a wild card. But I will say the West qualifier is the one that I was really excited about. I had the chance to be there when they qualified, Arizona taking down Boise. And it was a very, very close series. It went all the way to map 3, not quite into overtimes. But if I'm not mistaken, the score was certainly not particularly one-sided. So Arizona is a team I'm excited to see, a team that I'm really going to be keeping a close eye on at Arlington. But which one of the teams joins this echelon today or tomorrow in the Lone Star event, right, Cat? Here soon, yeah, soon trademark. Which one of the teams joins these teams into the CECC Arlington? Because it's kind of that weird, in a way where it's like, okay, it's not really going to get easier from here, right? You've got to win, you've got to win, you've got to win, you've got to win. Then you have to go to Arlington and win all over again. So it is very much an uphill climb here. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup, but the teams they start today, hopefully they can continue, you know, pushing the ball up the hill and make it to even get the chance to try and win at Arlington, because that is where everything is about. That's what this entire event is about, is that slot, is punching that ticket, is trying to find that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 3 days of action, all 3 here on Esports. Today, it's groups 1. In round number 2, immediately afterwards. So 2 group stage games, everything best of 3 here in this one. So you're following the last chance qualifier. You had that gauntlet of best of 1s, not the case here. Everything best of 3, all best of the best in this 8-team bracket. Tomorrow we groups round 3, followed by the semifinals, and then it all comes down, of course, to the finals the day after. But let's jump gears a little bit here. Let's jump into round 1. Septilence, who are we watching up first?
So we are looking at UTA coming out from Texas there against, I believe, UT San Antonio. So UTA and UTSA, very close names. We'll try to call them by their names of the letters. Don't get too particularly confusing. But these teams going into this have had a couple of chances to qualify already. Cat, unfortunately, not able to make that bar, not able to meet that success. And now going into Lone Star, this is, I believe, the 3rd opportunity for several of these teams. So you've got to assume you've got a pretty good chunk of things figured out at this point.
Yeah, I'd certainly hope so. I mean, both of these teams we saw play in the last chance qualifier. Fortunately for them, they got the last chance via the Lone Star. So we watched 2 teams make one into the quarterfinals. That was the Arlington School, lost 0-1 to TAMU Maroon. And then Fisher's B roster took down San Antonio in the round of 16. So both those teams couldn't punch their ticket to the best of 3 stage. But fortunately for them, we've made one for them. A best of 3 in this one. Let's jump over to the map selection, see where we're playing this one out.
Well, it's certainly a pool of maps here, Cat. This is not something I don't think I would ever pick in a best of 3 scenario, but starting at Icebox, guaranteed Pearl, and then if we end up at it, Fracture, being that tiebreaker, being that deciding map. And I think these are really unique because all 3 of these maps, of course, didn't exist in Valorant when the game was released, right? They're almost in order of release as well, but Pearl and Fracture are being swapped. So bringing Pearl out, it's something that we've seen, I feel, a lot more often recently. When it came out, it almost had like a plague to it, where people really did not want to play it, did not want to stick to it, didn't really want to learn it. But the more it's around, the more it seems it's continued to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as we get more of the deeper gimmick maps that are a little bit harder compositionally to play well consistently, I think we see almost the exact flip-flop opposite come through when we look at best of 3, best of 1s, where looking at a best of 1, we're going to Ascent, we're going to Haven, no funny business to be had. If we're going to do best of 3, we're getting Ascent out pretty early. Our first or second pick, we're getting Haven out in the 3rd pick ish or the 4th pick. It almost never we see those two maps come through. So pretty consistently, yeah, we see these newer maps. We've seen a lot of Pearl lately, especially even over in the last chance qualifier. Colleges have gotten their fair share of things on it. It's also been a good map to try to throw out double controller for Harbor, for Viper. We've seen 2 different colleges in that event be willing to throw that out. And then when it comes to Lotus, things like that, once again, a good Harbor map, a map that I think has been a lot more hesitant, right? You talked about newer maps, and it is the newest option, so teams still a little scared to play it, but the teams that have a good Lotus handle have a very good handle on the map.
Yeah, Lotus is definitely one of those make or break feast or famine maps. And it's funny because we say that often for people that play particular agents or stuff, but that map as a whole really seems to be either you know it or you don't. And we're not going to talk about it too much, so we aren't going to be seeing it. But San Antonio and Arlington hesitant on their picks. No insta-locks, no immediate choices here. But it's pretty important, Cap, because Icebox itself has been changed in quite a few ways a little while ago. And these agents continue to adapt and continue to evolve. So someone that may used to work here doesn't have that same guarantee anymore.
Yeah, very true. And then, so you look at the implication of Gecko entering the front. If that does get locked, I'm going to be curious. The fact that Icebox cons traditionally have no flashes. We see it a lot when it comes to retake potential for teams, especially over to the B site. It's hard to get back in once control is established over to yellow, over towards B main. So that Gecko and a Dizzy might be able to switch things up for UTA. Also, a team that we haven't seen this year or last year in any official. We haven't seen this team play Icebox. So we don't really know what they're capable of. When it comes to San Antonio, they played it 4 times all this year. They've won it twice. Unfortunately, their last go of things in the LCQ, they couldn't win that one. But we've seen them win it before. UTA, a wild card in this one, but going back to what is a pretty standard composition instead, minus the double controller.
Yeah, nobody's taking any critical risks here, and I'm kind of sad to see it because we saw a couple. Like you mentioned, the Gecko was being hovered, and they chose against it. Instead, Arlington wants to come out with their best foot forward, relying very heavily on these smokes, both the Viper and the Brimstone. That honestly makes me think we're going to be seeing a lot of A hits from Arlington as the primary attackers. They're going to be utilizing those smokes because B, without like a Sage, is something I feel like we don't see particularly often. But with San Antonio bringing out a Sage of their own, is it going to be kind of a circumstance of which composition truly does matter from deciding A site or B site? Does Arlington have some kind of plan that we're not prepared for in either way? Or is it just going to be, that classic, we're going to hit A 12 times in a row?
Well, that'll be the question. That'll be something to find out here in this one, because we do sometimes see this map turn into Icebox Simulator. Or A site Simulator, excuse me. No doubt about that one. And I think, man, it's just hard to play mid control, and that's really where we see the biggest differences come through for teams attacking sidewise. If you can take mid, if you can grab space up tube, space under boiler to be able to pivot the middle of the map, you're winning. It's just straightforward. You're winning the attacking side, but it's rare we see teams do that. The fact that they've got the double control, so they're going to have 3 sky smokes going into sites, and then the immediate conditioning of that toxic screen, rather they want to throw it to B to split off the top of cargo, whether they want to throw it back to A to split off the screen angle. That conditioning could lead to them being able to garner extra control in the middle of the map. It just depends on how they utilize the comp.
Utilization of the comp is always something to be keeping an eye out here, but round 1 is the one that can often rely on mechanics alone. People going in with these mild utilities and just those sidearms. I liked what we were always doing there, trying to play early, trying to catch somebody on I can't think of the word there, but on that high ground and not able to get it, so they have to back out into the site. A site's already clunky. Arlington sticking to what we were expecting, at least for the opening of this pistol round. They want to play this A site because the smokes get notably more valuable here, and is Arlington going to be able to use that value and turn it into gold, or will it just be a delay of the inevitable? A great dart comes out early, gets information on 2, maybe he's the first to go down, and San Antonio has the numbers.
Yeah, the timing off that initial contact coming through the back of the site was great for that first look. Jaquavius going to find one back on B. That's the lone Viper. That's going to be space picked up. K-Rod's been 2 pretty much the entire round, so already has the spacing under boiler. Will sneak under and is going to have space to sight. Just met contact from CT. Knows the one player. Definitely hears Reflex here on his walk up, and they've got room to sight. Question is, how do they manage to hold on post? I needed that kill.
Doleland here from San Antonio. It looks like Bubbles is going to be the second to fall. They've still got a 3-2 advantage, and Arlington Sova is critical. Frame goes down. Another one. Oh my goodness. And all of a sudden, KJ truly coming to life here. 2 HP clutch from Weiro to win things for San Antonio. Doesn't start the way they wanted, but by golly, they cleaned it up nicely.
Great 4K from Jaquavius. Unfortunately, it's just not quite enough. Had a good look over towards B to make that spacing, a very late lurk for them. It is an interesting default. On the pistol round, we see a lot of 5-man contact, a lot of walk-ins. You were talking about the mechanics just showing up, forget the strategy, but it wasn't the case for Arlington. They gave us a pretty decent look. 3 players over to the A side, looked for the early contact. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite win that fight thanks to what was a very nice dart she mentioned coming out of Bubbles. This time, a lot more coordination here. 4 players looking towards A on anti-eco.
Towards the A site once again, Arlington already starting to give us a little bit of a pattern, but it's early game, plenty of game left for adaptation, and with only stingers to their names, maybe just a couple of sidearms as well. This is going to be a tough round to win. The leer goes up, they clear both corners off of it, and San Antonio have to hold Ash just a bit here, holding out of the defensive comfortabilities. The dart does get through in time, and looks like the team's going to begin to fall off the back of it. And by golly, Cat, that dart is carrying these fights so far. Could this be a flawless from San Antonio? Be pretty huge, honestly. Not dropping a single weapon makes round 3 a little more winnable, even with that economic disadvantage.
Same dart, same result. Simple as that. Right here. Perfect timing yet again out of Bubbles leads to a wide open door for the team on the back of the A site to just spray through, find all the value, and UTA nothing to do at all. So that round goes about as you'd expect. Flawless fashion picked up on the anti-eco, and all those guns left alive now going to lead to a decently strong bonus. K-Rad unfortunately left on nothing but the stinger. Rest of the team, though, going to buy around. 2 half farmers coming out for maybe in Rain, and UT Arlington yet again thinking about the early default A side.
An early dart from Arlington as they try to gain information, but the very same can be said from San Antonio. Maybe drops not 1 but 2 there for the first time. Maybe isn't the first to fall, but instead the one to find that first blood. Brimmy with the stimmy off the high ground, and unfortunately they don't really utilize it. It's almost a fake as they try to bait out more utility. Maybe a 3K now. This is pretty much Arlington's round to lose now, Cat, especially considering Bubbles only has a Sheriff and is the last member standing. It's not quite going to be the ace, but it is going to be a flawless. Arlington not going to go silently there at the end of round 3.
Yeah, pretty easy round to get picked up. San Antonio recognized the fact that they're playing on bonus weaponry, try to see what they can grab. Wyro tried to tuck the dart, couldn't quite do it. He's the player with the best positioning there. I mean, Manufacturer literally throws their life away, giving the wall to create an opportunity for Wyro there on the back of Bell. Just wasn't quite enough spacing, so couldn't make it happen. Unfortunate, really. Maybe just cleans up. Another 4K coming out. This time it does result in a victory, though. For Arlington, they'll switch up the default. Now, this time, we're looking at the B split.
It's odd. I mean, interesting, rather. The first time Arlington makes a change, San Antonio is there to read it. They want to try and approach up through mid towards B site instead. B long, essentially wide open, but the KJ setup there is going to be available from Roplix. Oh, first blood going to be here in favor of K-Rad. Going to put the leer out as they try to buy themselves a free plant, but there's those nano swarms making it hard for the team to make it onto site. No plant quite yet. But Arlington has not used nearly as much utility as we've already seen from San Antonio. Oh, now it matters a little bit less as K-Rad is the first to go down. Numbers disadvantage for nobody for the time being. The manufacturer takes out Rain, and right now San Antonio really trying to get through this util. Oh.
And that res going to create a problem here. Now it's a 2-man advantage instead. Maybe going to utilize the last Sky Smoke. And Jaquavius going to pick up a look off of what is yet again a late lurk. Galaxy will get one back in the chaos. Got numbers back. It's 3-3 when all things are considered. Toxic Screen still up here. Talk about early conditioning that gives them space to work with, and Jaquavius going to take a little bit of extra when it comes to spawn. Timing going to be beautiful here. Just has to hit. The shot has done just that. Roblox will fall. Bubbles now going to know about it, but that's caused the reswing. I've got space in spawn. I can contain these two. Knows that. Is going to throw the alarm bot here under hut, so has all the information as Jaquavius will hit spawn.
No
Good read
way.
for Bubbles, though. Fantastic call out, but doesn't have time to beat this team to site. Plan will go down now for the 2-on-2 post.
Bubbles has that recon. Bull has a great bounce off it. I don't think it gets destroyed fast enough. Both are going to be caught out. Arlington's really got to get a bit faster at that, Cat. I don't think we've seen a dart yet that hasn't hit them. With Bubbles trying to be a bit of a hero, they don't quite have the Viper in line. It's going to be a 1v1 unless they can get into catwalk in time, and it's not going to be able to be found. Viper v Viper here.
Great wall.
Bichoro goes for the wall here, and oh, this
doesn't cover.
This is Cat. You could have stuck it, but instead they want to play it safe, especially as that fire comes through. Wow, the edge of that snake bite still doing some damage. Currently, Litora looking in the wrong spot. Can they find this in time?
Second snake bite, much better. That one will have the information. The sight line is here as well for Galaxy to know exactly that the spike is halved. Just going to sit on it. Litro, almost nothing to do here. Going to look to step on. Good angle. There's time on this. And Diffuses has done just that. 0.5 the difference. Walking away with it is the San Antonio Viper.
Talk about timing there. I mean, 0.55 being the difference is something I did not expect to see as early as around the 4, but San Antonio wanted to prevent any opportunity of a draw there. They want to keep this lead and take it as far as possible. 6 rounds is the worst case scenario you want, but you definitely want to try to farm as many as you can on the defense, and so far San Antonio's been able to do just that. UTA keeping it close, but I've got to say San Antonio really feeling like the team in charge for the time being.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of adapting on the defensive end of things. Arlington have been the last 3 rounds. 4th round, they try to switch things up, go on the B split. But SA realized very quickly after the Viper go down, adjust nicely and just look a little bit better. The defensive call going to come through here early as well. That drone's coming through. The screen going to block off screen on their end. So they've backed all the way out of this one. They've given a lot of space up. And they're going to look to play a retake game instead, which is pretty nice. Recognition to come through. Lockdown broken nicely. They can hold for a couple extra picks. Unfortunately, not going to find them, though.
Oh, wow. It's going to be an orbital strike as well. Not something I expected to see from Arlington. 2 ultimates in the same round. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to try and cover up the one that was destroyed. K-Rad finds bubbles, and now Arlington has the space made. Roleplix a possible flank, but of course you run the risk of having to walk through a Viper wall, and that's not a risk they're willing to take. 5v2. I'd really like to see San Antonio just save here, and it feels like that's where they're going to be headed. Something I feel like we don't see enough in Collegiate, and it can make a huge difference in later rounds.
I almost like to see a tab. I'm curious where their eco actually stands. Where, to your point, this is not a bad save, and a lot of times we don't see teams play the save.
But I'm just excited to see a save.
I do wonder if this is a better round economically to look for exits in for a bit of the extra advantage. Litro low HP, low money wise, so definitely the right call for the save. Yeah, very much the right call for the save.
It looks like they were trying to go for exit frags, and then Roleplix took a little more damage than they wanted, and they decided, okay, rifle's going to be more important here to make it out. Carrying 2 rifles into this round is much better than the 0 they would have found had they gone for the hero save or the hero play there. San Antonio has a 1-round lead, and as we're only entering round 6, if they lose this one, which statistically they are expected to, we will be seeing a 3-3 tie-up. But can these 2 rifles make themselves worthwhile? That's going to be up to Latoro and Roleplix to find out.
All right, so they went back to the A lane after the B split, managed to find the 2 picks. It's been the struggle for Arlington just getting in the door. Wasn't the case in that round, and ends up being the win for them. This one's going to go towards mid, and it's gone there for the defensive as well. This is going to be a bloodbath immediately. Good lead from K-Rad, leading into Roleplex's death. Litro has the timing to drop Spike, and has done just that. That's big defensively picked down to protect.
I like this pit a lot. It's just very aggressive. They got the elimination, like you said, going in for that protective play style, trying to use it as a defensive bubble, but wow, does it not last long. Galaxy finds him. K-Red with a 3-piece. Now a phenomenal job on this duelist role, and it's just the 2 of them that take down 5. I did say Arlington's expected to win that round, but I hadn't expected to be as one-sided as that was. A flawless round from Arlington, or nearly flawless, and they've tied up the game 3-3. Economy still in their favor, notably so.
That's great tempo from this team. Recognition that they do have room to work off of. The defense has been so adaptive that they haven't really gone for anything set piece wise early in these rounds. It means we can take spacing where we want to. They opt to go mid. They work as a pack. They're there for trades with one another, and they just play a little faster. So it allows for confidence, right? When you're looking at Reign as players that are self-sufficient duelists, you need them to be confident. K-Rad was exactly down the round. Leads to the win. Going to try to do so yet again. It's caught. Roleplix hasn't found the frag.
Empress on the line, Roleplix with that opening frag, and it's going to be the secondary one as well. K-Rad's Empress does give them the opportunity to get out of there, but it's just the 1 elim. They can carry any further here into round 7. San Antonio has the spike location, and they're going to try to speak it, and the manufacturer does just that. Deconstructs maybe in all oppression they brought to the table. Quavius falls to Latoro, and that is San Antonio taking their 4th round.
Yet again, spike dropped behind for the Arlington team. Last round, they were just able to be a little quicker with a little bit extra space. They're able to recover it just off of finding frag. So there's no defenders left to defend the spike. You get to pick it back up, but not the case in that one. Just spike carrier drop behind, end up having to work backwards, and doesn't work out for them. So a bounce back yet again for San Antonio leads them to another bye into this round. They win this one. Things pretty even slated yet again.
Arlington, for the first time in a couple of rounds, it feels like we're seeing a notably separated approach. Lorena herself up by A. We've got 2 keeping an eye out toward mid, underneath Tube in particular, and then 2, of course, rotating towards that B site. The first blood, I think, is going to be pivotal here because if it's against Arlington, this round is going to be a difficult one to clutch up, especially when your team is as scattered as they are. But if Arlington can find that first blood, especially if it's a duelist like that Raze, it can be huge. San Antonio's KJ took some damage. I'm going to guess beneath tube there. That's where the eyes of Arlington have been. Galaxy, a patient play towards A site, and nobody wants to be the first to make that mistake. Weiro goes down. K-Red has the leer to get the team in, and A side belongs to Arlington. The problem,
Very
Cat,
nice.
Spike is as far away as it could be.
This is very nice. Yet again, a patient default for Arlington after playing what were 2 quick mid stacks. Forced San Antonio to play on the back heels, and now they wait for that patient pick. They've grabbed it. Unfortunately, Lichero has grabbed both players on the B site. Has shut down the Spike. Roblox is going to find another. He'll find both, in fact. And what was a great early split default play has been absolutely dismantled by San Antonio.
Dismantled indeed. Arlington, they started so strong. They play it patience. You think slow and steady is always going to win the race, but unfortunately, it's not just going to work out well enough. 5-3. I think this timeout is a really intelligent one, Cat, because in that round, I would say Arlington did a lot of things right, albeit missing their shots. So what do you think it was that San Antonio did that allowed them to deconstruct that so cleanly?
I mean, when it comes to the B side on Icebox, you're almost always anchoring just the Viper back of B. Great early read comes out, and it's also the start to the rotation for the Viper as those 2 players are pulled off of the early contact on the A site. K-Rad grabs one, and they start to work their way in. It's a defensive unit into what is the defender spawn, and Litro stays there to Snowman just in case, right? We've only seen one player. We've only seen K-Rad right now, just in case this is a fake. Litro stays, is able to find both players who assume, okay, K-Rad's grabbed this look. We hear the footsteps coming into defender spawn. Surely they've rotated. Not the case. Big picks come up, 2 picked up. For Litro shuts down the entire play. Chaos in the comms of Arlington. They're looking to swing their way through defender spawn, just taking the fights, hoping to get numbers back on their side. And doing so, they run into a Roleplix more than ready to shoot them. So much so he takes 2 frags.
The timeout has come to a close, and the economy here is even for probably the last time in a while if things do not go in favor of Arlington. Losing this one can certainly snowball into losing maybe 2 or 3 more until their economy is able to recover, but San Antonio losing this one, Cat, that's kind of the hard part, right? San Antonio losing this one, not going to be a huge deal. They'll have enough economy to buy in the following round, so Arlington really needs this. But there's a very real potential of a snowball here on Icebox. Speaking of needing things, K-Rad looking rad indeed. A double kill out the gate. Another very fast execution out of this A site. The reliance of the A site is something that I was able to predict as early as the very first round of this game, and Arlington's really been struggling to make it work, but can this be the round where they break that curse and truly begin to dominate against San Antonio? A 4K for K-Rad brings them to the ground, but 1 member left standing of San Antonio. This round is lost for them, most likely.
Good round for Arlington. Just hit all the shots, and San Antonio kind of give that one away. We've seen that set piece one time before when they walked up into what was going to be a wall this round into Belt. Try to take that space. The combination of the Raze and the Sage, and unfortunately for them, K-Rad is just there first. Arlington has been playing for the last 2 rounds a much more tempo-controlled game, a much slower pace, and unfortunately, this time, just not the case. They were looking for a heavy alien and just caught the defense off guard. So I think in a round on the split default they had seen the past 2, that play works. Unfortunately, that was just not the case into this one.
The economy for San Antonio. I'm trying to do math. I've never been one for math. I don't know why I'm giving it a gander here, but the point stands that Antonio losing this round really does imply that the next is going to be an ultimate heavy round, or it's certainly not a heavy buy round. So a lot of improvisation going to be necessary. Arlington winning this, of course, brings us to a tie for, I believe, only the 2nd time this series so far. The first being back at a 3-3 scoreline. Now jumping up at the 5. K-Rad really want to do a great job of never staying the same pace, always changing the momentum, either taking a long time to get in or hard rushing down site, double leader committing with an Empress to boot. Can K-Red get out of the way fast enough? Wow, those shells clean up, Cat. Down to 21 HP here, hasn't even seen an opponent.
That's the value of staying alive defensively. They're able to actually throw that utility. Unfortunately, shots back and forth, maybe going to catch that one, so he's got value for the CM to get into the site. They've read yet again. Jaquavius always on this late lurk. Roleplix knows about it, trying to sniff it out, can't quite catch the scent. Jaquavius is going to hear that alarm bot set, so he's got space now to play into tube as K-Rad continues the onslaught on site.
K-Rad really had to play carefully there, down to 21 HP, but the Empress naturally heals you right back up when you find an elimination. Rain goes for the plant. They bait it out, and now we can see the new UI that comes along with this lockdown inside of San Antonio. They're trying to clear sight, opening up the Viper's Pit. A very intelligent play, especially as Bubbles at the perfect location to take down an opponent. Maybe he got the trade, and unfortunately, it's just up to Bubbles to not get popped here. And it's maybe who goes down next. Jaquavius takes him down, and UT Arlington ties things up 5-5. Only one ultimate, I believe, used from Arlington there. So this next round, they've got the economy advantage, they've got the ult advantage, and they've certainly got momentum on their side for the time being. 2 rounds in a row here.
And this is why, so consistently, we see Icebox turn into a simulator.
Yes.
Because Arlington have really walked into this map trying to be educated, and it's just broken down to we're winning A, let's just go A. Like,
yes,
I don't want to be that guy, but even with the only 3 rifles up for SA, I think when they walk into the B site, they somehow lose this round.
I mean, look at the team comp, right? I talked about this way back at the beginning. This team comp screams A site. You know, you don't have the Sage, which almost screams B site in its own right, but these smokes get a notably stronger utilization in a more compact site, like the Icebox A site. So Arlington, it feels like that's the plan they wanted to stick to. And yeah, I fully agree. It's kind of a, hey, it's not broken. Let's keep trying it until it is. And even this B site now, they've shaken things up. They've completely caught San Antonio off guard with this approach. And it's a clean house, flawless there for round 11.
Yeah, and here's the difference. K-Rad walks through their toxic screen and pushes for the snowman, is able to grab 2 kills. To your point, no wall means that this team has to play a lot more extra space because they don't have as much defensive control for the post plant. Like, when we look at a Sage, we look at a team, they walk into B, they plant default, they all leave. Play yellow, play main. But without that wall, without that initial stall deterrent, without the additional slows to make the retake just that slower, you have to take extra space. And K-Rad does a good job there from the last time they were on the B site of pushing through for all the extra room, finding the pick on Lichero and the other player going to defender spawn for the rotation, finding those 2 picks, giving a numbers advantage, and having that one from the get-go. So they take the extra space, they're good.
Showstopper, unfortunately, it's a pretty quiet party. A bit of a silent disco there for Weeros. They're not able to get that elimination they were looking for. However, the cleanup is there. K-Red goes down. 1 duelist offline, 2. Another, a great flick from Weero. Gets Galaxy out of the equation and opens up a whole new realm of possibility for this team. San Antonio needed a power play just like that, and Weero doing all they can before biting that final bullet. Jaquavius takes that raise offline, and Arlington half the amount that San Antonio's brought to the table. Jaquavius, though, trying to equal these numbers. Maybe this isn't the round for them.
Ooh, good luck. Stuck in the nail. One finds a second, but Lichero able to get the trigger off just in time. 32 HP, the difference, what could have been a second. Jaquavius, 4K in a round converted.
Dang, I mean, that was a very impressive showing from Arlington, even if that was going to be a round loss at their side there. Half the game has already come and gone, Cat, and all we've done is lower the score echelon. We've essentially made it a 0-0 here. First to 7 going to be our victor, and right now, it's incredible that Arlington has been able to keep this so close because if I'm being honest, it feels like there are a few rounds where I really thought Arlington was the momentous team, right? I feel like the rounds we have seen them win have been pretty reactive to San Antonio's blunders rather than UT Arlington's finding success.
Yeah, I think San Antonio gave a couple rounds away. I also think that when it comes to some of these fights on site, Arlington just a little bit stronger mechanically. Maybe has a 4K. Jaquavius has 2 4Ks, and K-Rad, I think it's 4K as well.
Yeah, just 1. Let's see if K-Rad can change that up here, though. Has the ghost, has the read that San Antonio's on their way, but walking into a 4v1 is not going to be easy. The 5th member catches up, and now all 5 of them getting ready to take K-Rad offline, just like that. Util utilization working wonders for the squadron of San Antonio. A critical player offline. The B-site defense has fallen, and just as I had talked about back in the agent select, this is a B-site composition when they're definitely going to try to make work as early as the pistol round.
Manufacturer going to find one early, and Lichero will continue on. So all the extra space taken with the Sage Wall combined. He's ran into a corner. Can't get to the teammates for that trade, so it's an awkward one for the last 2 retakers to try to fight back into. Plant's going to go down now. Jaquavius will pick up 1. Lichero a 3rd, and Bubbles will close the door. San Antonio take the pistol with ease.
Pistol round with ease indeed, Cat. I'm not sure if San Antonio is going to be finding themselves in a continuous winning position as they did win. You know, we look back at the scoreboard. The opening pistol round allows them that free round in essence, and that's where Arlington began to fight back. We see K-Rad with in Ares light armor here, a very unconventional play, but one that I think can absolutely catch a team off guard if executed correctly. The problem is they're leaning towards the A site right now, and San Antonio, I really do think, is not going to be an A site squad. So I've got to wonder if this is just to make noise, and then they're going to rotate toward B.
For the recon, looking for that jail push. No one going to be home to be scanned. 3 definitely to the back of the site, though. He's got info. Bubbles has not the info he would have wanted. That's a great set piece play from the back of the site. An early peek comes out from the back. Brimstone just shooting classics. Allows for K-Rad to peek out of window, and it led to a pick. Unfortunately, the rifle a little too far for them to pick up, but something to keep an eye on for a later round.
Arlington certainly biding their time here, and it feels like Antonio, like you said, they got the intel. Perhaps not the intel they were looking for, but certainly some intel that somebody's boxing out that A site. And with this composition being so viable towards the B, it feels like a bit of a no-brainer to line it up and try to push this B site once again. The question at hand, of course, that they don't know the answer to is the KJ setup up and running? Is Killjoy completely ready to stall us out for as long as she needs to?
This is the hard one for Jacobius. No util at all, so not one that's going to happen in any sense. So rifle here. The only thing is you only have 45 seconds now, and they do not opt to spend the extra time to go get it. Just assume that it's not there any longer. So they will not have the advantage going into that early pick. This is one that's going to be very hard, extremely difficult to retake.
Let's see how much K-Rad can really pop off here. I have to agree, Camp. The retake is not going to be easy. It looks like it's that much harder. All the members of Arlington down like dominoes right now. Weiro finds a 2K with that rifle. Galaxy finds the Bucky, or the Shorty kill, excuse me, and a 2v1. Can Galaxy clutch things out? The odds are certainly low, but still got that classic in hand, 74 HP in a dream, and that dream turns into a nightmare pretty quickly. San Antonio, 8-6 on the board.
Did break his armor, though. That's an extra piece of thing to rebuy after the headshot comes through, so a little bit extra money has to be spent there, and it's a pretty good Arlington round, and I know what you're thinking. Mr. Candidator, they lost the round. How can it be a good round? They're down another round. It can't possibly be good. That's where you're wrong, because they're able to convert all those guns. I mean, look at the buy going back into this one. San Antonio almost recognized the fact that, man, we have no money if we lose this round. So they opt to not buy the extra rifles going into this one. Now they've got 3 pistols to work with. UT Arlington, thanks to those 3 picks, probably win this round.
It's a great analysis, Kat, honestly. And
like
I love that you know
Did
exactly what my conscience sounds like.
Table?
Yeah, that was kind of incredible, honestly. I felt very in the moment with that. But speaking of the moment, I mean, that's where Arlington has to be right now, right? A 9-6 is where things, I personally think, start to get a little bit scary. It feels like that's where the team is getting that momentum against you. And this is a best of 3, not a best of 1. So losing Icebox isn't the end of the world. But you certainly don't want to be going down in a Valorant BO3 at all, if you can help it. Arlington haven't had that momentum on their side. At no point have I really felt this team has been fully kind of on the ball, very reactive. I'd like to see them be a little more proactive. Hello? What? Yeah, what do you do? What?
Bro, you got the spike.
Bro, like, where were you headed? Like, did he DC? Like, where were you going?
Just try to be the smooth criminal. Walking past that toxic screen said, I have the spacing on Snowman. Trust me, I'm about to make a play.
He said, bro, trust, and we certainly should not have. That was really like, what? I truly cannot comprehend what the plan was supposed to be in that moment.
Forgot to mention that the play was for the other team.
Yeah, you did. To be fair, you did say Arlington was going to win. I think we just didn't understand exactly how that was about to happen.
I mean, I like the idea, just now with spike in your hand. Unlucky, really. Quick shake off, doesn't matter. Nothing much going into that run anyway. Full rifles, full armor back into this one. Win this, you're chilling. Lose this one, break eco yet again. You didn't have to shoot. No. Oh, okay, right now they know.
We saw it too. We were spectating. Unfortunate. You got to jump out of there. K-Red has to abandon ship a lot earlier than I think they anticipated. And that does give San Antonio a pretty critical note of information. There's at least one person here, if not 2. Weiro dodges that owl drone.
That was a big bailout for San Antonio too, because that drone was not checking.
Yeah.
And that would have been really awkward. But unfortunately, K-Red just assumes, oh, you're going to check me because everyone checks me. Why would you not check this? Goes to the break drone to make it a little easier for his teammates on site, and could have had the biggest trigger discipline play, but unfortunately it's equated to just a bit of HP ticked off. No Sage on their team, no healer, so he's stuck with the health he's got right now unless he finds a pick later in the round.
I always forget there are healers in Valorant, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. They're so unimportant. I truly forget that they exist in this game. But
I can't believe they'd pick a comp without a healer, because like right now,
bro, I can't believe they
K-Rad
don't
could
have a
have
healer,
like
bro.
be back to 100 HP, but
it's crazy because you think about it from what it's like. Yeah, it is weird that they're healers in the game and they don't play them. And then it's like, yeah, because most people don't survive a firefight long enough to need healing.
Dead.
Yeah, it's certainly fascinating that Sage, having that healing ability isn't even the reason she's picked most often. She's just so strong in her own right. And speaking of her abilities, we don't get to see anymore. Manufacturer taken out by maybe. Stim on the high ground here wants to get somebody to peek that corner. I think if Arlington can find one more elimination, they can kind of confidently breach, right? And then kind of storm in and close out the corners. But with it being only a one-man advantage, as we just talked about a moment ago, being one shot in this game is a very real thing. You can't overextend with a one-man advantage because before you know it, that one turns to none and the game flipped on its head. Maybe misses a lot of critical shots, but will still be able to take down Weiro. Bubbles falls as well. And Vittorio hiding around that corner. Roplix with the wide swing. Wow! Rain gets dropped like a bag of rocks, and Arlington is still able to find themselves that 8th round win, tied up 8-8 on the game so far.
Shout out to maybe the side anchor there for not overheating after the first pick.
True.
Found one into his crosshair and did not continue. Waited for the rest of the team. As we were trolling just a little bit, I will say the entire Arlington defense rotated out at one recon bolt. One recon got thrown. Contact came through from the Sova B main. 4 players ended up on the B site, which is why San Antonio walked directly into A. They had all the room, and thanks to maybe's lack of overheating, it allowed for them to rotate and come back in for the retake. So this timeout's pretty convenient for both rosters. For UT Arlington to go, we can't rotate off of just one piece of utility, and then simultaneously pat themselves in the back of, even though we did screw up, our retake was great. So.
And you've got to wonder, Kat, as well, if they have almost some kind of like fear of what happened earlier, right? Because we saw Arlington, what was it, 3 rounds in a row get hit by the same recon bolt. So now they're getting to a point where like, oh no, recon bolt, and they have to like immediately try to get out of the way and try to adapt and change. But I wholly agree. One piece of util should not be enough to change your entire plan. If it is, maybe your plan was not that good to begin with and should have a little more depth to it.
So we'll see what the difference coming out of this timeout is. It's been early pickings into this half. Haven't really seen too much blundersome out of San Antonio. That round's not terrible for them. They had space over to A. They walked into it. Unfortunately, a player just got caught on the cross, and that led them down. I think that conversation might have been about post plants and how to get a bit stronger hold.
I think it has to be, because every round they have won has been pre-planned, right? I think you're fully correct there, Kat. The post-plant from Arlington has not been at the level of success it needs to be if they want to win this against San Antonio. It feels like San Antonio is winning the war of attrition right now. They're not winning pre-plant, but it's getting into site, which hasn't been particularly difficult for them, that allows them to find this continued success.
It's unfortunate. Look down 2 was very successful for the player with the long-range weaponry. K-Rad, they do it again! And that's where the value comes out of the Reyna. K-Rad somehow escapes disaster there. Is able to utilize the orbs and get out of dodge. Weiro going to send one back finally. Jaquavius will fall for K-Rad since. There's still some room here. Flank going to be on its way for Arlington. Looking for the cleanup. Looking to keep all the rest of the guns alive. Double satchel in. Weiro will take one more for their troubles. For Arlington, just about unscathed walking out of that round.
You got to respect the hero play as well there. The double satchel in, just trying to take down as many folks as you could, but unfortunately, the lineup was not there. The stars had not given you the lineup you were looking for, and now here we are tied up, Kat, 9-8. That's not a tie. Why did I say that? Here we are, Kat, 9-8 on the board. It could be a tie. It's
just a big San Antonio believer, I think.
I truly am. I think San Antonio is looking really good right now, and I think they're starting to crumble a little bit on the offense, but I'm not seeing cracks large enough to scare me away from the team quite yet.
Bias caster.
Virus
Pit will on the A side, as San Antonio has been there quite a bit early in these actual gun rounds looking for conversion, so that'll shut that down pretty early. Weiro in with the showstopper. Rocket will take forever to make it to K-Rad, so he's able to escape just in time. Who guys don't look at explosions, but they look at their targets. Roplix going to fall. Lear back in. Weiro just found 2 on the eco round. Looking for contact now towards yellow, and K-Rad continues forward. Jaquavius will get involved in the backline, going to pick up one. Bubbles will convert, trade it immediately. Devour coming through, and Manufacturer going to devour the Reyna, so she'll finally fade away. It's just 1-0 player the difference.
Oh! Oh
One player the difference.
it was all for nothing. One player makes the difference, and the player was actually maybe. It wasn't the Rage that was resurrected there. The orbital laser comes out and makes it very difficult for San Antonio to get any value off of that resurrected player.
You're so cheeky for this, Jaquavius.
Oh, no way! I'm amazed Jaquavius doesn't drop 2 there, but still, you got 1. Unfortunately, the spike had already gone down, and now to 2v1. The Toro, the most important member, arguably, still the one standing, keeping that ultimate up and running. It's a Viper 1v1 again. Latoro currently 1-0 on this exact situation. Let's make it a 2-0, baby. That's Latoro winning that Viper 1v1 once again.
Joro, a player who was big as the one-man anchor on the B site defensively, and a big stop to Arlington's early deep split when they got looks onto the A site, now has value on the opposing side. Interesting point, Galaxy Vortex, that is his poison orb in that Viper's pit. That's why Lichoro's so low HP into that fight. Unfortunately, Jaquavius is just looking a little too high. That could have been a crazy 2-piece off just awareness from the Viper in terms of where that plant is going to go. Allows for them to spam the planter so much easier. Just couldn't quite convert. K-Rad looking to grab kills early. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Got killed early, at least. Went down pretty silently there as Arlington finds themselves in a numbers disadvantage once again. No orbital strikes to get them out of dodge this time, and San Antonio leaning toward the B site. They really do find more value here. I've talked about it a lot, but I do want to highlight it. That's kind of why Sage is chosen on this map, to create that wall, to make it easier for your team to get onto site. That's what Antonio wants to do, but Arlington trying to get better on this defense, trying to find those small moments of success, trying to read the patterns and get those early elims, and using a lockdown might help them be able to do just that.
All right, they get the extra space regardless. Arlington continue to fight for it. This is the detained Viper in a couple of moments' time. It'll be just that. Bubbles gets a good look at the shock bolt. Jaquavius going to try to keep his teammate alive, as no one from San Antonio actually want to risk pushing to convert that detainee. So they'll be back with 3 members. Still going to be a difficult retake for Arlington. This one can break eco too, so I don't know if you really want to make the push for it.
Ooh, 1-1 trade. San Antonio trying to push out, but Jaquavius from the heavens here. I mean, putting him down like an archer tower. Almost got 3 players offline, and holy cow, I mean, this starts off so strong for San Antonio, and then all of a sudden, or for Arlington, excuse me, and all of a sudden, San Antonio has the numbers advantage they needed. Jaquavius tried to be the hero, tried to put him down, but unfortunately, San Antonio had the lineup, and now the lead, 10-9, 3 rounds for a win. This is going to be a close one, Kat. I don't think we've been more than 2 rounds apart, or maybe only 3 rounds apart in a while.
It's been a very close game. You're right. It has not been past 2 rounds for either side. In terms of lead, it's the largest lead of the game thus far. San Antonio continue to take it forward. Convert that round. They keep the eco cooking, and Arlington, unfortunately, going to have to play down in this one in terms of the weapon rate. Need to buy for next, and they're going to head down mid, just try to create some opportunity.
Run it down, baby. Gotta respect the hustle here. Like you said, trying to create some opportunity one way or another, and Arlington going up through mid is something I wouldn't be expecting at this point. So I wonder if that's kind of what they're doing. Is this going to be a true flank? It's certainly going to be a pinch against the team, as in just a moment here, they're going to have absolutely nowhere to run.
Jaquavius playing the poison orb, so hasn't given Toe that they've moved the Viper and they've swapped the Killjoy into her place just yet. Now that information given away, Jaquavius' life will fall as well. Rain will get taken down through the toxic screen, and all you really need here for this team. There's still 2 on the Lark, but they've been caught out by Bubbles, who finds 1. K-Red will have the other. Clear forward, a lot of work to do for the Reyna, and just can't quite convert. Wyra will have the frag, and maybe Sheriff in hand, a 1v4. Maybe he could win it.
Ooh, maybe. Oh, not the reload. Oh, it was looking so good. Oh my gosh, it's like one of those arcade games where the things move back and forth, the cardboard cutouts, but unfortunately maybe just could not get the shots off quite yet. A very valiant effort, but unfortunately Valiant isn't going to be enough. You got to put that win online, as San Antonio is creeping toward that 13th point here to win Icebox and put themselves on series point.
All right, it's the big round for Arlington. Rebuy is going to come through. Eco broken if they lose this one, and that'll be match point for San Antonio. So looking at a force buy into next round if they can't convert.
that's a forced buy in the penultimate round always makes me sick to my stomach a little bit. It's just, like you said, it's going to be not even a full buy if Arlington can't win this one. They're going to have to change something up because the B-side pushes continue to work for San Antonio. And you see the KJ setup already from Jaquavius waiting for this team to plant in the same spot they've planted 5 or 6 times before. Will the story be
Good early
different?
info.
Can Arlington rewrite this?
Already, Arlington has worked 2 players up towards A. They have this information, and they have the Reyna and the Empress. We'll trigger the alarm bot, though. K-Rod has to not overheat in this moment. You need this player alive on the back end of things. Going to have the Sova to help, and they'll recognize. They'll throw the Leers, but they will not push into main. Right now, they have this team completely contained. They've been everywhere else on the map. They know exactly where they're going to be. They're really gambling, though, on this team taking B. They have room to walk out of spawn and go back towards A.
They could rotate back toward the A side, but it's not something San Antonio has shown they're particularly fond of doing. Is there going to be a double down here on B side? And it looks like they're going to try at least to look for the plant. Jaquavius might have a spray and pray lineup here, but instead going to sit on it. What a paint shell. Galaxy, the one to find the first blood over the wall. The spike plant does come to fruition. The snake bite goes out. Jaquavius takes out the manufacturer in a 5v3. This is exactly what Arlington needed to see. K-Red finds Roplix, and now it's under the 2 remaining members of San Antonio to try and win this one out. A 1-player disadvantage. Showstopper came out.
20
Unfortunately,
seconds.
a silent one, and with only 20 seconds left to plant, they're boxed in. This is certainly not in San Antonio's favor here. Can they turn this around and give us an insanely clutch play to open up the penultimate? Rain gets an elimination, finds 2, and Wero just can't get the lineup fast enough. Arlington putting their 10th round win on the board.
Arlington had full control of that round 30 seconds in. The moment they had pushed both players through A, they had all the info they needed to know. This team is all B. They're trying to make a play here yet again. They put early pressure, caused for San Antonio to slow down what would have been an immediate execute, caused them to have to stop, rethink, and then re-hit. They opted to do so. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't right. The toxic screen came up, plant started, toxic screen though came down about 3/4 of the way through the plant. That caused Litro to completely cancel the plant. Would have had it down right then. We know, thanks to dramatic irony, that the player at Snowman was not in the angle, but he doesn't know that. So Ops to head away goes back into cover, plant doesn't go down, and that's the difference between them winning or losing that round.
And let me say, bro, I'm a huge fan of dramatic irony.
I think it's just
a
makes my
very
job a
fun
lot easier.
thing. It does. That's very true. It truly does make this job a little bit easier. And easy has not been the name of the game for these 2 teams so far. San Antonio has been clawing, clinging onto a lead like a cat on a screen door, and Arlington fighting back, desperate to take that team down. Close has never been enough to win, Cat. You've got to be that leading team. And if Arlington can tie things up 11-11 right now, I think there's an insanely real chance they can sneak out a win on this first map. As K-Rad goes down, though, those odds are going to plummet.
That's a great play from San Antonio as well. So they continue to play everything towards B, the early conditioning with the toxic screen, but they put Roleplex into the back of A. That recognition comes through. This team has been containing us to the back of B main, so they have to be working through mid, or they have to be working down through A. So let's anchor the Killjoy here to be able to grab this pick when they do walk through. So K-Rod yet again goes, it's time to contain, and unfortunately, he's the player being contained instead.
Containment is a dangerous game. Ooh, Jaquavius, a really good angle. I'm shocked so few of those bullets hit Wero. Oh, it is a Spectre. I didn't even notice. Yeah, that'll do. Oh! When it rains, it pours, baby. Wero and the manufacturer both going down to a Hunter's Fury.
Lockdown for retake.
Arlington, a real numbers advantage. The retake feels... Oh,
this is worth it.
Mind.
Good call.
I'm a little nervous here.
Very good call on this
every
one.
ult in the world.
That can't break this ult.
Oh, it is every ult in the world, Cat. The lockdown gets destroyed. The orbital strike comes out as well. Jaquavius is able to flip this on its head. A 2K from Jaquavius, a 2K from the Sova, and now it's up to Bubbles. The Hunter does not want to become the hunted here, but as this angle is being pinched against them, there's the defuse. There's a spray. 1 left standing, 6 HP. You're looking the wrong way. Bubbles is able to find it. What a phenomenal clutch up there, and San Antonio win their penultimate round. Can they find just one more to go up 1-0 on the series?
Man, that is a tough one. And Bubbles plays that just how he needs to. He's able to find the first through the smoke, never has to get his position away, and then leaves. So Jaquavius steps into the sky smoke. He's just not there any longer. Good intuition coming out of the Sova there to make that one possible. So unfortunately, they have to use both ultimates, not necessarily to the post play, but taking down that lockdown. So it's a heads up play from Jaquavius to utilize it to make sure that team has to do a little bit of extra work. Unfortunately, Bubbles obviously has a shock bolt down before the Hunter's Fury comes through, so it is able to break the ultimate, and in doing so, is able to continue on that round, continue the space into B main, makes all the difference. Speaking of B main, Arlington's already walked through. They know this one's headed A.
This is the next and possibly final play of Icebox if San Antonio can play their cards correctly. Only a lockdown to work with, an ultimate relatively difficult to get value with at this higher echelon of play because teams always seem to be ready for it. But can San Antonio make some magic with it? The A site, talk about compromise, Cat. 8 of the 10 players in the game right now hugging this A site.
Again, it's Arlington on containment duty. They can actually lurk thanks to the Killjoy turret. They can scope out all the information. They'll also put the Viper down into mid, so they know no one's playing under Boiler. There's no shenanigans. This whole team's been triangulated. They can't be anywhere other than a lobby. Lockdown seems to be the cue for this team off the early contact.
Oh, maybe he does swing wide. A double with a Spectre. Not something you expected to see, but unfortunately the manufacturer has that Resurrection online and makes it a 4v3. UT Arlington might be thinking San Antonio no right now, as this round is starting to work against them even more so, but Galaxy is going to be able to find that equalizer once again. Rain has a great flank, but with an Ares, not a gun exactly notorious for its long-range accuracy.
Shockball has a bit of damage, a bit of chip onto Litro. We're going to walk out here first. Contact from both players. Oh! The flanker allows him to step into that one. Jaquavius will finish the job. Manufacturer now shut down for the 3K. A 1v2 for Roleplex. This one could shut it down, could give them the 1-0 lead. Holding to the top, a sniper. Jaquavius has the angle, has the shot as well. Arlington, hold on.
An absolutely phenomenal job from UT Arlington there. I think Rain in particular really did help carry that team into a greater position of success. This is, I mean, I know I sound like a broken record now. I'm not talking about how close this has been, but San Antonio, it just feels like they cannot sneak away that dominant victory. Arlington clinging on for life here. I'm going to call it out early, Cat. I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't hate the glass cannon op right now. Ah, they would. Darn it.
Yeah, we haven't seen an ops yet in this
all.
map. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I thought it would be a good call.
Tricky opping agents to make that gun look good, and K-Red's just been so decent on a rifle. Being the only real agent to pick up the op here would almost be inadvertent to his success early round, especially with this player's want and need to get on the flank so consistently. Yet again, San Antonio are going to come back towards B. K-Red has not been caught out by a Roleplex this time around, so can play for this lurk. It's going to be the turret in the way. Toxic Screen is on the right timing this time. No disruption when it comes to utility. They've dealt with the KJ utility almost immediately. Now just the rest of the deeper sight items that'll be the issue, but they won't go to plant for it.
Viper's pick comes out. Galaxy going to be spamming that Judge. Unfortunately, can't be the jury or the executioner. It's Jaquavius that takes on Manufacturer. That spike plant down as well. Jaquavius off to the far side of the storm. A spray and pray finds Wero, and Galaxy, oh my goodness. I mean, what are we looking at? 1 HP in just a moment. The Judge has been a silent weapon so far. So many bullets, so little value, and Arlington needs value like they need their next breath here. Even with the numbers disadvantage, San Antonio got to be feeling somewhat comfortable, especially as that Viper's pick comes to a close. Jaquavius drops a 3K. Too shy of the ace. Bubbles catches the stray bullet, stops the dart just shy of dropping intel. Got to keep an eye on your left there. That KJ is going to put you in a coffin. A spray comes up and Jaquavius goes down. Maybe he finds Roleplex and it's up to Bubbles to be the hero, but Arlington ties it up 12-12 overtime here in map number 1.
Phenomenal anti-plant utility coming out of Galaxy there to kill so much time, and the planter to argues a lot more valuable. The manufacturer goes down, Spike goes down with it, and never did it get picked back up. No one was able to garner it, and that just cost them the entirety of the round. San Antonio have the spacing, but don't have the ability to put Spike on the ground, and that plant got stopped about 3/4 of the way there. Yet again, this team has been able to get to the B site, but have not been able to finish the job when they get there. Sides will flip up now. Arlington, a team that went to the A site and found success, went everywhere else and found losses.
12-12. This is going to be a full and tactical reset for both sides, and of course you have to win by 2, so we will carry into overtime as far as we have to. But San Antonio, they've got to be beating themselves up a little bit. They were 1 elim shy of winning this 2 rounds ago, and now things are continuing to steamroll against them. Maybe finds the elimination on the Wero, and it's going to be a 1-1, now 2-for-1 trade. The Manufacturer is not checked in that corner. A 3-piece now could flip this right back on its head. Bubbles finds it. Galaxy takes out the Manufacturer, and Bubbles is there to clean up, popping the dreams of Arlington in that first overtime round. Could they find a 14-12? This is the half they were good at, Cat. They're back on spike control, and this is where they've continued to struggle. What do they need to do differently here?
Right here.
Is it bad if I say win the round?
A little, but like you're not wrong.
Honestly, I think if they get into the right tempo, San Antonio look fine. It's just a matter of not them doing a bad job offensively, but Arlington doing just a pretty good job defensively. K-Rod's going to overheat here in 2 seconds. They grabbed this pick early. They've got all the room in the world to work with. And this time, is K-Rod actually getting away with it? Unfortunately, Galaxy will overheat on K-Rod's behalf. He'll go down instead. Big leer from K-Rod to get another look, so he's traded that one back, looking for more, though. Still is this Reyna. He'll overheat. He's caught as well.
K-Rad has fallen. It's a 3v3, and the lineup's almost identical. The Sovas, the KJs, and a Brim versus Viper. Which one of these smokes can come and find a little bit more utility here on the B side? Especially as we see Arlington's Killjoys all the way toward A, only just now making her way up to mid. Looks like she will be able to get there fast enough for this full 3v3 to come to fruition. This could be San Antonio punching that ticket into map number 2 with a 1-0 advantage. Or could be Arlington forcing yet another overtime. The first blood, or rather the next blood, I think is really going to be the decider of how the rest of this matchup seems to go.
I mean, this could have been such a different round in the first 10 seconds.
Oh, undoubtedly.
K-Rod walks in, grabs that pick, fades away. That could have been it. That could have been the end of it. We're gone. We have the player advantage now. Come deal with us. Both players opt to overheat, which for those of you not familiar with the term, overheat is just, I got my one pick and I'm looking for so much more.
Yep. It's just bloodlust. It really is. It's
yes.
just overextending after you find an elimination. It's something we've seen a few times, though we've almost seen the lack thereof in times where it felt necessary or felt critical, but hindsight is 2020 after all. And San Antonio, I mean, what a slow play. They literally do nothing so long that Arlington goes back to check the A site, buys them time to plant, and unfortunately, Rain does not get that assassination pick. Latoro does find the elimination, and now San Antonio has the numbers advantage. 3v2. Never mind. Ukrainians with the spray and pray takes Bubbles offline. A random headshot could ruin San Antonio's chances of a 14-12 victory.
Toxic screen down now. It'll be down for a minute, so this is the chance. This is the spacing to be picked up. Alarm bot will make maybe vulnerable. He'll be more prone to phantom shots. So Litro going to have a snake bite in their hand, and Rope looks with it all to do now. 1v2, and he's caught by maybe. Out of yellow, finds both picks. The big Brimmy brings it to overtime number 2.
I cannot believe that. There was so much for San Antonio to do correctly there, and unfortunately, they couldn't get a single piece of correct action out in time. UT Arlington does it all right. They force the second overtime of map number 1 here at the CECC 2023 Lone Star Qualifier. This goes to show how badly both these teams truly want a slot at Arlington, which is less than a month away at this point. They know they're running out of time, and today is their time to shine.
Jaquavius might be the biggest hero of all time.
Truly.
The stars aligned as he eclipsed for that shot through the wall. That's put us in to another shot for Arlington. We're in overtime number 2. This team had some brief successes over to the B site. Really came off of K-Rod finding deep opening picks for them. He'll be the only player to step into the B site right now. A lot of room. Lear coming through. Iroh getting out of dodge, but won't dodge for any longer. Caught. Second look for K-Rod. That's a massive opportunity, and it's cleared out the A side as well.
K-Rad really cleaning house there early on. A 2-for-1 trade is something we always love to see in circumstances like this. Can the manufacturer get that early cheek onto maybe, unfortunately, not the smokes come out. They wide swing into it, and Galaxy gets the spray and pray. That gets the Viper spit online, and that nearly doubles the chances of Arlington being able to win this round and take the lead for the first time in a long time. Cat, it's not quite a flawless, but by golly, was it one-sided. Galaxy gets Latoro, and Arlington finds that 14th point. Can they make this second overtime worth it?
There was the hard part for Arlington, converting offensive rounds without big moments from one of the key 3 players for this team. K-Rad opened the door, gave opportunity, pushing the A-site players away off of the rotation, grabbed 2 big picks, and now has created an open door for Arlington to step through into a 1-0 lead.
A 1-0 lead. Oh, it's crazy because it's the first time Arlington's been in the lead since before halftime. I think it's truly been a long time, and Galaxy wants to play up close and personal. Finding even one elimination, finding even a trade here could be great for this team, but unfortunately, you get caught by that recon bolt. You miss the op shot, and the glass cannon's got to run before they get cracked. Recon bolt actually gets K-Rad. Oh, that is very bad. Can you get a wide swing onto anything? Oh, my goodness.
First look at the op, and well, hasn't found his value just yet. Rain certainly has, though. Galaxy close, short in hand, caught though by Bubbles. Big reaction time. K-Rad operator now gonna find one, no more. Manufacturer trade back. A 3-on-3 to try to settle map number 1. Maybe out wide on the bridge, and Bubbles. I wonder if maybe he's from London. He fell down.
He did fell down, Cat, and triple overtime is feeling so unbelievably likely right now. If San Antonio can just find 2 more eliminations, Rain gets a huge recon bolt, and gonna look for a shock dart, wants to interrupt the attacking side, or the defenders at this point, rather. Rain can't find much, instead finds several bullets to the body, and Jaquavius has been a hero, but just can't deadlift the team fast enough. 14-14, triple OT on its way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to overtime number 3. And if you were looking for some high-class action, you've come to the right place. This is map number 1 of group stage round number 1. Septlin said at the top of the broadcast, these teams know this is their last chance to make it to the land in their own backyard. They're playing like they know that fact.
And it's crazy because this isn't even a best of 1. I can't stress that enough. This is a BO3, so you've got to wonder if maybe one of these teams is running a sprint instead of a marathon. But we can talk about that a little more between maps. Bubbles taken out by Jaquavius. K-Rad takes out Latoro, and all of a sudden it's a 43 in favor of Arlington. It's this constant, continuous spiral. The game stalls out at 22-22, so hopefully somebody wins something soon, and Arlington really feeling good about their chances here in their 15th round. K-Rad finds a 3K, and all of a sudden they're back on map point.
Yet again, Arlington, as long as one member of the core 3 steps up, they're winning the attacking rounds. K-Rad, 2K in overtime 2, a 3K in overtime 3, living up to the numbers game perhaps, is able to put them up yet again. Their second chance now to close out in overtime. San Antonio head back to the bread and butter, that being the B site.
There.
Who is the winner going to be site? You know what I mean? You
Galaxy, please don't. Please stop doing this.
Oh, Galaxy, everyone is right there.
Please stop doing this.
It's like the worst kind of surprise party. Everyone is right there, and it just L plus Bozo moment. But you go down early. San Antonio does have the numbers advantage once again, and that's what you get. That's what a bloodlust can cost you. It's what an overheat can cost you. And now Arlington has to play with their cards not exactly in their favor. What can they change up to find a success here?
Great defensive round early from San Antonio, or attacking round, excuse me. Playing defensively right now in Swan. The recognition of they keep pushing as B main. 3 players early waiting there. A drone, in fact, to send them in early. And then Roplix is also anchored outside the A site. So as Arlington continue to try to look for early picks, San Antonio continuing to convert them because they waited so long for them. Jaquavius going to come all the way through the A site now to finally pick one up the other direction. And everyone contained at the moment on the B site. The only player here is Rain. A big moment can change things for this team defensively. Sage caught with a wall in her hand. A second off the spray transfer. Has made it a 2-on-2. Jaquavius under 2 was picked up 1. Wyro with it all to do. A 1v2 on site. Spike in hand. Out into K-Rad to win that first bit of contact.
That little bit goes a long, long way in a circumstance like this one. Jaquavius has been such a strong player for this team so far. Several bullets to the body, 30 HP online now, and Wiro a lot left standing, but it's just 1 to the head that'll put you down, and Jaquavius with 30 HP will win Icebox 4. UT Arlington 16-14. Got the team that didn't have a lead until the very end, turns it from a lead into a map 1 victory, and now they are halfway done with their goal here today. I don't even know if that's the closest map we're getting today. That was a triple overtime.
That was an insane game, and us as an audience can do nothing more than hold on and strap in to our seats. Thank you very much to Zip Chair and Dream Seat, the official gaming chair of the CECC, for sponsoring this event. Head over to zipchair.com to elevate your gaming chair today. You're gonna need one. If you didn't break your chair watching that game, I don't know what you did. Head over during the break, zipchair.com. When we get back, it'll be map number 2.
Oh, is it one of the links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god!
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give all your strategies. It's over under.
What do you mean over under?
Like, do we think we're gonna podium? Do we think we're gonna come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey.
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never play Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match, and I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my God, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, not cast. Interview. Change your mindset. Change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct, tight angles make it tough. You have Axorus that actually gets a wall bang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CECC Lone Star 2023 Qualifier. My name is Sepulins, joined by Cat and Leonard. If you're just joining us, well, sorry, because we just missed one heck of a map. It was a 16-14 closer there on Icebox there in favor of UT Arlington, a team constantly down by 1 or 2 rounds, just barely clawing their way into a jaws of victory moment there. They win Icebox, and now Cat going into map number 2 could possibly be the last if Arlington can pull that off again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Arlington, that map of Icebox, the map that we have not seen them play in an official the entirety of the year, the entirety of their officials experience, the whole resume does not list Icebox, and they were able to come away with it. That was San Antonio's map pick, a map that we've seen them convert at a 50% success rate. Now we move to Pearl, a map that Arlington did select. That will make them look obviously just that much stronger. They've played it once this year. That was a win for them. Where on the other end of things, San Antonio has seen this map once this year, and they did not convert it. So technically speaking, if we want to get all clickbaity with it, it's 100% success rate versus a 0% success rate, Sepulins.
We pick our best map and lose, gone wrong, not clickbait. That is definitely not a situation that Arlington wants to be in just a couple of minutes, but it really is going to come down to that. I think you bring up a great point. Arlington has chosen this map, we assume, for a reason. They want to come into this, they want to play the comp they want to play, and they want to try to work well with it. On the other side, maybe San Antonio hasn't had the best opportunities on this map so far, but maybe they've learned, maybe they've made some changes.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And going into this, maybe they're ready to try and win it because, like you said, map 1 was an impossible victory there for UT Arlington as they've stopped sides.
You got it. You can do it.
As they swap sides, UT Arlington is going to be starting on the defense, and we can already see some secrets here being presented of almost entirely new team comps.
Yeah, almost certainly. Map, you just got to change things up a little bit. San Antonio have been traditionally playing double controller on this map as well, so we'll see if they sneak a Viper into things as well. I'm trying to think of their previous composition, which would not give room for the Viper, but the Sova probably flexes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Bubbles, the Sova will flex to the Viper, so they'll play double controller yet again, and pretty standard pro composition. I think if San Antonio play double controller nicely, they'll look very good. I think
absolutely.
Astra is just so solid on the defensive side, but then again, they're starting on the attack, so you lose too many rounds too early, lose too much momentum. Where does that put you at the end of the day?
You beat me to it. I was just about to ask you that same question. Starting with this on the offense is obviously going to make it a little bit harder as they tend to be more defensive sided, but UT Arlington coming in with an Astra of their own. So it's like both teams are going to have to run that risk, right? Astra, a character, an agent that tends to do better on the defense. So maybe starts with it a little more successful there on the defense initially, but they've got to play offense at one time or another, right? And that's where Astra can really start to use or lose her lackluster play style, and it's all going to be variables, right? We can sit here and hypothesize all we'd like, but it's going to come down to the individual play styles. I got to talk about this as well. San Antonio, a substitution. Rishi being played in here on the Jet.
Yeah, absolutely so, and we'll see how that comes to bear for them. Could be just a map specific substitution. Not sure what the details of that one are, but we are sure that they went with it. Map 2, a chance for Arlington to try to close the deal on a map they chose to play. Not, it'll be map 3, it'll be Fracture, a map that we've seen neither of these teams play. That will be the wild card going into this one. If you're Arlington, you want to finish this one right here, right now.
I like Fracture. I think Fracture is a fun map, underrated map. I didn't like it when it came out, but I really, it has grown on me in quite a couple of ways. Unrelated to Pearl at all. I was just sharing a Sepulins opinion there. But this map being one of the newer ones in the game is certainly one that's called for continuous and differential play styles. I do want to talk about, we referenced earlier that we thought if we were seeing Pearl, when we were seeing Pearl, we'd probably see a Harbor along with it. Both teams going to be avoiding that. And I feel like, I also expected to see Breach, and we've got no Breach here. So the compositions to me, Cat, definitely feel slower. I think both teams are going to be trying to go for a bit of a defensive burn play style rather than kind of a hard rush in and look for elim situation. But I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what these teams are trying to pull out here with these team comps.
All right, well, time will tell, and the time for the spawn walls has expired. Up they'll go. Really, Dagger has info and suppression on 3 for Rain on the back of the B site. Arlington going to do something a little cheeky. They'll play 2 players to the back of the site. Don't always get to see a player in the back pocket here like Rain is. He pop flashed himself out straight into trouble. Lichero has the first pick.
That is an unfortunate circumstance to be in. Rain pop flashes himself into 6 feet under, and Bubbles is going to be able to find K-Red as well. San Antonio currently with a 5v3 advantage state. Plenty of time for the turnaround here from Arlington, especially in a round as minuscule as the pistol round in the grand scheme of things. Quavius has been an insanely talented player so far in terms of eliminating this team and finding elims when you least expect them. And unfortunately, I helped him up too little too early, and no sound's coming out quite yet.
He was blind.
Yep.
Great stuff from San Antonio walking down. Got the early peek. Didn't really have to do anything to kill Rain, to be honest. Spammed through the screen just a little bit. Got caught by a bit of damage. Forced Rain out of the position and got him caught up into what he did not want to be into. San Antonio take that space, continue on, and then it's just pistol round numbers advantage, and they just get up close and personal.
Up close and personal has been the name of the game so far, and San Antonio going, wow, for a rifle and 3 Bulldogs and a Spectre, so an insanely large fire rate here against UT Arlington's mostly pistols and 1 Marshall. So Arlington really trying to go for a bit of a flavor play.
Already adjusted the defensive end. We'll see if that is just for eco shenanigans. This K-Rad peeked down B long early in the round. They've got Killjoy turret going into deep mid door. The Killjoy instead is watching back of sewer, even though the sky is there, just playing kind of quick rotate right now, which makes sense on the eco round, just being that player who can get there quickly wherever the pivot ends up needing to go towards. San Antonio will re-gunner spike now. We're waiting to see if maybe this eco team would push up into them. They did not. K-Rad now has. It's going to be down to B long for the contact.
B long for contact, and it's not a fast one. Latoro, it is a fast one, rather. Latoro is able to take K-Rad offline in the immediate action, and 5v4 advantage state for San Antonio. They already have the better weapons online. They've got the numbers advantage, and B-site just really seems to be where this team likes to be. And Quavius with only that classic online, gonna get flashed, gonna catch Rishi, and now a double turns to a triple, and all of a sudden Arlington, a round that started so heavily against them, could be winnable if they play their cards right. The flanker, Roplix, gets there far too late to do much about it, unfortunately, but no, you're looking the wrong way, dog! You hate to see it, but you love to see it if you're an Arlington fan.
You gotta give this round to Rain. No questions asked. You gotta give this round to Rain. After K-Rad died, immediately, Rain from outside of mid door throws a dagger to the sidewall that catches everybody B long. There's no utility. I know you're thinking there's no contact. We don't need utility. They can't get any extra spacing. They can't use a double controller utility to take extra space towards hallway, to take space under to tunnel. And since they have that lack of room, it allows for the classics to get up close. 2 classic kills get converted, guns get picked up, and Arlington walk away with an eco round they should never even be close to.
Yeah, absolutely. An eco round that should not have worked out well, but the KO deadlifting the team there. Kill mode is default after all, and now Arlington trying to utilize that to the best of their ability. San Antonio find themselves in a weapons deficit as we enter that Nito 1-1 play style, something we don't see particularly often. 2 Bulldogs bonus into this round, and Arlington already getting their money's worth out of them. Elimination to Quavius is stunned, can't get the spray or the prey, and loses the 2v1 on the high ground.
Nice from San Antonio. They do just what happened to them. They walk up with that extra utility, get close to a rifle. Fortunately, rival player immediately caught. Trade is going to be there, though, for Lichero, so Roplix will have another chance. Lichero is in no man's land right now on site, fighting their way out of hell. Going to pick up 1 as Rain and K-Rad will grab the other 2. And Arlington can brag just a little bit, because remember, these rifles, they didn't necessarily have to buy.
Right. These rifles were carried over, and unfortunately neither of them live into round 4, but it wins you round 3, and that is notably more important of a situation to win. 2v1 here in favor of UT Arlington, and you've got to say Pearl already performing a little bit better, as at this point in Icebox we were of course looking at a 2-1 the other way. So Arlington feeling very strong in their defense, and depending on how many wins they can find in the defense, they might be able to steamroll it right through into the offense, especially as San Antonio's composition is, defensive sided. If you can keep the momentum and stomp that team out early, you lower their chances of a victory.
Op coming out here for K-Rad. We saw him use it on the Reyna. It's able to find about 2 picks for the chances that it had at shots. We'll see if there's better success here in this one. I want to take it towards A. Unfortunately, B long is going to be the queue up here for the attacking side. Bubbles on the lurk. That contact could come through. We'll see. Seekers for the retake on deck for Arlington. Early contact off the utility. We'll kill a bit of time.
Killing time is the name of the game, and killing Sky is done by K-Rad. There, a phenomenal read from Latoro, takes that op offline, and Latoro really just being the lead of the side of San Antonio, finding those opening frags time and time again. Roleplay takes out Jaquavius, and with the Cosmic Divide, Galaxy can't survive on the other side long enough. San Antonio 3v1, Spike Plant down, and a 2-2, feeling pretty darn likely in just a couple of moments.
Tro turning into the Brainster. Just knows everything into this round, knows exactly where players are going to be, built-in neural theft to his head. And we'll find the last as well. Maybe going to fall. A 4K picked up for the Astra. 2-on-2 the score.
2-2. Arlington feeling a little shaky after that round, but honestly, Lucoro really just waking up in this moment. 10-3. Next in lobby is Galaxy with 5. So this Astra, I don't know if it's just simply where they're comfortable or what, but by golly, is it feeling good on Pearl so far. San Antonio just about 1 round away from taking a lead for the first time here on Pearl.
Took down the Jet so early. Was able to continue just finding players as soon as the peak came out, and the Astra really carries them through that round. It's going to be a walk-up yet again for Arlington. This time they're going to give K-Rad a flash to try to work off of with the Blade Storm forward. Guarantees contact. Blade's going to have value to 1 second flash. Galaxy's gotten all the way up in this early spacing. Turret's going to anchor him here. We'll have information for the entire round. They're trying to smoke this turret with the Nebula. Roleplay should have an idea and does indeed. So Galaxy going to catch that one. Turns into a pull instead. No one can capitalize off of it, but it's killed time. Put K-Rad back into the angle.
Chunk of the timer has already been burned, and K-Rad takes Roleplix out of the equation. Tasmanian Tiger running down main, but I don't think it's going to get there close enough to get
I think it's just K-Rad.
Maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. He might have been hidden. I think Tasmanian Tigers, if you don't move, they can't see you. Pretty sure that's real.
Like in real life?
Oh.
Is that a
yeah, definitely a real life.
Is that a real life thing?
For sure. As we're talking about Tasmanian Tiger fun facts, K-Rad is bodying the lobby right now. A 4K online, only a Viper left standing, and definitely a round that Arlington needed. I feel like they didn't spend that much here in this round. It wasn't a critical overplay or overextension, but the overextension now may cause at least 1 flank elim. However, Rain is waiting and gets the necessary intel, but can't find the final bullet. Ace? Oh, Bubbles, how rude. Let him ace, bro. No way you reverse clutches.
2 1v1s, time short. Spike picked up, has to go basically straight to sight. Maybe going to catch him on the cross. So a Blade Storm and a lot of utility expended for it leads to an eco round picked up from Arlington. Their second eco round win of this game. It's only round number 5.
Seems to be where they thrive, you know? When you're at rock bottom, the only way to go is up, and the eco round seem to be working pretty darn well for Arlington so far. K-Rad going to be coming out with the full cannon this time, has the full armor online, has that operator in hand, and, you know, Jet and an op make a little more sense than Arena and an operator, so hopefully K-Rad makes some magic happen and try to catch up to Latoro here in terms of eliminations.
Yeah, and speaking of those 2 players, K-Rad was able to find one early last time the operator was in their hand. Dashed out of trouble, and Litro just had the craziest read of all time, picking him up through what was a Nebula. So we'll see if K-Rad can avoid the shutdown this time. As shutdown and Art early, these 2 players are going to walk directly to Killjoy utility. Toxic Screen going to give away where this push's head is. Wyro's going to pick up one early, traded back by Made, who's now into trouble. Has avoided Bubbles, has stayed alive. Has found another look, a 3-piece for the Astra the other direction. And Roleplix with just the Sheriff in tow. Might have tucked the Tiger, but will not tuck the bullets. Galaxy picks it up, a 4-2 scoreline.
I cannot believe the Tiger catches there. I really thought they had the Pink Panther sleuth moment, but instead they get caught up on the Tiger, and of course, you know, even if they dodged it, there wasn't much left to be done. Not much for them to do. You know, Arlington, I mean, just taking turns popping off right now. A moment ago, it was Galaxy in the lead with 5 elims. Nobody else really even close. Now it's 7-6, 5-4 down the board. That's one off a straightened poker, man. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, honestly shameful for Jaquavius not to finish the job. 2 more picks somewhere in this game. We could have been having a really funny kill board to look at.
True. The chance to do the funniest thing in Valorant history, but unfortunately...
Jaquavius had a chance to do the funniest thing. Good flash in for Galaxy, unfortunately. Who other than the Astra to shut things down?
I feel like I'm getting a little sick of the B-site cat. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we've been here a lot.
Haven't spawned much. Where she's caught out the defending flank, and that leads to a walk away for Arlington. They're gonna head back, reset the defense to what they can. Rishi staring at a 1v2. Full HP. Lots of room to work with. No utility, unfortunately. Is opted to go to the one place that's actually defended.
You hate to see it. You really do. And we are basically looking at a 1v1 in a couple of ways. 1v1 plus 1 there, as maybe does have 1 HP online. And got to get a headshot. That's kind of the scariest part here, right? Yo, whoa.
Insanely good play from
Ain't
maybe.
no way. Ain't no way, bro. Just insanely good play. Just stands there, lets it happen. Trigger discipline is perfect. And as that spike plant comes through, so does the bullet.
Yeah, he's walking into side. You know, he's going to plant pretty quick because he's playing this 1v2. Wants to plant there and get deep into CT. Go to dugout or go to link to get deeper, to try to find an early pick to equalize the numbers. And the recognition from maybe that this player is going to work around the site. Their first goal is going to be to plant. You see he tries to plant for himself there, out of link, out of spawn, view site. So if these players do rotate through, they can't take him down quickly. Maybe he just holds back his sight, says, I'll wait. Take my time. As soon as you're in the plant, stuck in the animation, that's when I get my free pick. So 1 HP, not even an issue. So yet again, they push K-Rad forward off of a guiding light. San Antonio have to find an answer to this. This is the 3rd round in a row that this guiding light has pushed K-Rad into this extended position. They're going to try to push him out with the Tiger. That has cleared him.
Whoa!
K-Rad gets a little impatient, plays that one a little quickly, has given the operator away.
Yeah, just handed it over. I mean, it's a one and done. Gives the op to the side of San Antonio. Is going to be able to utilize it, especially down this V long. And when they've got an op, that's the one place you don't belong. But with only a minute left on the clock here, it is going to be, you know, a little bit of haste from San Antonio. Minute feels like a short amount of time, but in Valorant, you can really take your time down to those final 4 seconds.
All right, yet again, the dagger comes through, stalls for time. Now players have a chance to rotate. Seeker's going to try to force Galaxy out of this one. Was trying to take one down with him. Still a chance to do so. Going to opt for the Bladestorm player. Good call. That's the strongest player in this round, as everyone else is on the eco. So takes the Bladestorm. Jaquavia's going to take another. They've got the numbers advantage and the weapon advantage going back into this one. Wall to give them all the space to fight on site. They've done just that. Good call from Roflex. I can't win this round, but you can't have the op. They look for it. It's not there any longer. Sacrifices his life, but the op won't go back to Arlington.
Now that's a hero play. Now that is a hero play. A very clean performance from Roflex there to just guarantee no one carries that op away for free. If you want one, you got to buy it. And K-Rad going to do just that. Again, another operator. I think I'd like to see some more patience here, Kat. I think being that far up with an op, yes, you're going to catch them off guard, but yes, you're going to get sent back in a body bag. There's very few chances in which you're making it out of that circumstance. With a weapon that expensive, I just don't think that's a reasonable risk.
San Antonio will switch things up. They'll work for mid instead. Good flash to send Jaquavius away. He's going to have help here. The bait and switch is going to come through. Galaxy just step forward through the nano swarm. Tiger does not get information. He's heard a bit of audio cues, though. Tried to line up the flash. Wasn't quite far enough, so can't confirm that information, but pretty solid off the audio, especially that Tiger to come through now. Know they're going to be in mid. The Seeker's going to confirm how many. We'll see all three. All 3 Seekers broken early. Do they take that as one player stepped through, broke all the Seekers? Do they take that as there are 3 players in mid? That will be up to them to decide as Bubbles picks up 1.
Bubbles has that 1, but it's going to be met by 2 out of Rain there. 3v3, and Rain just finds a 3K standing in mid. You think the overextension would work well for the team, but unfortunately Arlington does not find it. Bubbles with a 3K now. 1 3K dismissed by another, and we're back to this poor KJ trying to be the hero for UT Arlington. This time it's up to Jaquavius, the clutch king himself.
1v2 for the Killjoy. San Antonio have lost 4 rounds in a row. I was questioning would they throw the pit to guarantee. They have opted to do just that. So a pit, they'll have a guiding light back. They're in a 1v2. This is a hard one to fumble.
Yeah, I don't think I love the pit, Cal. I'm not going to lie. I know that having a 2v1 advantage is not something that you really want to rely on because it's only a single bullet to tie the game up. But all things considered, I think you had some good information. You had an open sight, and I don't know, a pit is just an expensive ultimate, but at this point, I think San Antonio is just desperate to find a round, and if it costs you an ultimate to do it, then so be it. Is it even going to be enough? 20 HP, a great flash in the corner. Can you get to the dugout in time? Jaquavius has to duck back, 88 HP.
Flash is done.
think you just got to get out of dodge. Yep, unfortunately, Jaquavius not able to win that one, but made it notably more expensive and cost the San Antonio an extra ultimate.
You know, on the other side of things, I like the pick quite a bit because they've lost 4 rounds in a row.
Right.
I also see players stack ults for the perfect moment so often, especially in collegiate, to the point where we'll see players hold ultimates. The rest of their team will use their ult, get their ult back, and that initial ult will still be in existence. We are at a point right now where unless we see the most insane end of the half for Bubbles, they probably do not get that pit back. But I like the utilization there just to guarantee a win. That could be a big difference when it comes in the half, when it comes to economy, right? They lose that round in a 1v2. Their money's broken. They lose more rounds. It's an 8 whatever half, and things look a lot worse.
Things could certainly be looking worse in this moment, and San Antonio wants to stop the bleeding here where they can. You know, a 6-6 half is incredible, but a 9-3 is a scary spot to be in on either side. UTA or Rain tries to make that space, but has to use not one but both flashes. Might catch the will.
Wow.
No, my goodness! I can't believe Roblex finds that elimination. Rishi gets the trade on Jaquavius. It's going to be 2v1 here. And Galaxy will stop the bleeding once again. Another one. No, Rishi will put him down. 2v1 here in favor of San Antonio. Only that Astra left standing.
Maybe going to have the chance for the cutoff. Has heard all the noise. Doesn't want to give the position away to shoot Rishi. Trigger discipline, phenomenal. First look here. Rishi off draft caught. 1-on-1 and Astra, the Astra. The Churro has been having such a phenomenal game. 2 stars for maybe to utilize. First will be the Nebula. It's a fake. Ooh. It's a dissipate, and it's caught him out. Litro sits into it. The expectation this will hold for 20 seconds. No, it will not. It's gone just like that. Maybe finds the frag. Arlington convert the round.
There's something alpha about that, Cat. There really is. I mean, to pop it up, to bring it down, and to find out they fell exactly into your plan is something you are absolutely stoked to see, I'm sure, and it works wonders there. UT Arlington able to win that 7th round and now guaranteeing themselves at the very least a 1-round advantage going into the second half. And with the way they've been playing, I've got a hunch we're going to be seeing a little more than 1 unless we get a big turnaround from San Antonio. I do want to call out how close the scoreboard is as well here, at least the kill board, excuse me. Leaderboard, that's the word.
Yeah, everyone from Arlington stepping up and having moments. Guiding light in. Everyone's here. Yo, what's good? Both players pushed up this time. K had to find one. Bubbles to trade back. Wyro going to get another on mid. Galaxy will shut down the danger on long. But there have been rifles picked up for San Antonio in that mid fight. They're going to grab 2, maybe hoping to contain with the spike at his disposal. Has picked up 2. Wyro the flash turned back in the angles, maybe just off a big 1v2. Looking to finish this one as well. Wyro out the angle. Stepping slowly back into it now and caught out a 3-piece right after the 2K to win.
But I mean, I've got to say, Arlington, I think a lot of them are just playing characters they're more comfortable on. Maybe in particular has really begun to show up here. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it was on Brim back on Icebox, a character that hasn't really been as viable as a couple of others here in the world of Valorant for a while. Astra, though, looking good, and all things considered, I mean, maybe is really starting to wake up when it matters most. A 9-3, incredibly likely. A Cosmic Divide, a KO Ultimate as well, and no command and Seekers online for Arlington if they play their hand correctly. However, San Antonio, they're not exactly coming into this one dry.
Absolutely so. Feet wet with the Blade Storm and have the chance for these ults as well. Good utilization, certainly going to be worth it into this last one. See what they bring to the table. Dagger's going to come through. Don't believe it actually got the scan, so not a ton of information from Arlington early. K-Rod's going to step down. Going to get caught, though, by contact on the lurk protection. So they'll know at least that there's players sitting in spawn. But right now, all the real information for Arlington is, well, they haven't gone anywhere yet.
Right. Nobody's moved quite yet, and Arlington needs just that first blood to really cement their odds of a 9-3 half. Bubbles gonna give some information away early. A quick snake bite. Oh, the bullets were kissing it, but just could not get the lineup, unfortunately. Here comes a B-long fast.
Great flash. No capitalization. Flash back in for Rain, though. That's had value. He's going to find 1. Rishi from the back end, though. Ooh. Convert a trade. It'll be 3-on-3 when the dust settles. Lockdown to secure the plant.
Plant online. A lockdown and a Blade Storm going to be used, but I think, you know, obviously it's the final round, so they're going to be trying to use everything they can. Jaquavius truly overstaying their welcome. I'm not sure if this is a bait to create confidence or perhaps an overzealousness for the Cosmic Divide. Will be separating the point once again. Astrojet flank underneath, and now K-Rad wants to find this opening pick onto Rishi. Updrafts, falls down right in front of him and can't catch enough knives to take him out. The spray through the wall. Gonna get one more. Bubbles finds Jaquavius, and Arlington have the numbers. 2v1. Roplix has been hungry for a hero play. Can they get it? Unfortunately, they cannot. I believe this is going to be a defuse. Yeah, no problem. The defuse should be good, and UT Arlington should find their 9th round win against San Antonio. Only 4 left, and they win this first series.
Maybe the closer. A 1v2 into a 3K contain into a final pick to secure the round. All 3 of those last rounds. Big value from the UT Arlington Astra.
The A in UTA stands for Astra. I mean, that's clearly what we've been shown so far, right? I mean, it has just been the maybe show for these last several rounds. And it was funny because you talked about earlier, you know, San Antonio, we were talking about how Bubbles was going to have the second part of the first half absolutely flawless and kind of wake up as a player, but it was Maybe who heard that and kind of rallied with that information to really beginning overperforming for the squad. The question is, can they continue that as the sides have swapped? There's a bit of a delay here between halves, and now going into this opening round could give San Antonio the chance they need to restabilize. But if they lose this one, there may not be time to stand up once again.
Bubbles, shots on, nothing to land. K-Rad will step in, and there's room for Arlington on site. Now they get to play the post play, a team that did pretty well defensively.
Oh, Roplix with that first blood is going to be able to find Galaxy, but it looks like Bubbles has taken a notable amount of damage as well. The Spravius from Jaquavius will find Bubbles there in center, and it's going to be a 4v3 with Arlington in the number seed once again. They've got control, they've got momentum, they've got the spike down, and they've got Maybe tearing this team apart. Rishi, Sheriff, Roplix for the cleanup, and now it's up to poor Jaquavius to be the hero. If Rishi hits this shot, it's over, but when you miss it, when you force the reload, I would love to see a Nano Swarm here, Cat. I don't know if we had to fully rush in there and try to get the picks. The Nano Swarm could have stalled and bought you a lot more time to just think about the plays you were making next.
Yeah. Just had to figure out how to drop the Swarm in. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite there. But definitely the shots weren't quickly converted, so had the space to be able to. Risky play, but could have been the difference. 100%. Regardless, it'll be San Antonio taking that one and going to opt to buy up into this one as well, as they should. A lot of thought coming into the defensive setup right now for this team, but the audibles have come through. The only player still left questioning is Lachuro, and he's finally made his way over to A main as UT Arlington wasting no time. Good pull. Gives Roplix the positioning to fall, and K-Rad has found it.
They be thinking right now. On God. UT Arlington, not exactly the clean slate they wanted to start with, as San Antonio was able to find that opening round of the second half, but with a 5-round advantage, you're not exactly worried yet. You just need to rally, group up, and reconsider your choices going into the rest of this matchup. The slow burn through center here is going to be fascinating, as it looks like a B hit, and B itself is quite empty for the time being.
It's the rare moment where I wish we had a telestrator. Great set piece execute that put Arlington into mid there. A Nebula covered deep mid door. The dagger stalled. Roplix killed all the utility, and then they pulled deep. So when that player tried to escape, there was nowhere to go in mid. They were caught out and allowed for that stinger to have value at close range. Bubbles close range with the Marshall now. Not quite the same effect. And yeah, you see it there. Jaquavius going to have that one. 3 players going to step under.
Galaxy able to find not 1 but 2. Latoro takes out 2 of their own, and maybe cannot hit those shots, but will get the lineup just now. Arlington hitting those double digits and essentially tying up the half 1-1. So should be having an econ advantage going into round 3 of the second half, going into round 15 overall. If Arlington wins this one, it's going to be difficult for San Antonio to get the economy they need to answer back before this map can come to a close.
Still room to work with. Unfortunately, going to have to give this round away, so things going to be at minimum 11-4. Well, let me not say that. just in case, I don't need that bad blood on my conscience. So should be 11-4. Technically, just economically speaking.
Ooh, does it count as the caster curse if we apologize for it in advance? That's the question. Wow, what a right click. Free gun, by the way. K-Rad dashes right into it. And that should be the beginning of the end here, as Wero will go down as well. Maybe with this Bulldog, making sure there's no maybes about it. Just an absolute win for Arlington here in their 11th round.
Flash over dugout. The throw not quite around just yet. Shot is up.
Got the shot.
Into the body. Galaxy has that. Rain the other. Arlington will take a round that I think some of us expected them to win, but no one said that is the only thing.
No, we would never. We would never do that. Certainly not. Bias caster, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not hiding that.
Doesn't count if we're open about it. That's the question. What are the qualifications?
Rishi gonna pick up an operator? Player subbed in, didn't get to see an last map at all for San Antonio.
All right.
She could bring one out here. It'll go B long too, the best place for it.
That's definitely where the op belongs on this map, and Rishi wants to play up close. Cat, I don't know why they keep doing this. I do not love this attempt. I don't love what we're seeing with that. They continue to do it, just like Dollar Tree headset lost in that moment. Misses the op shot, hard dashes into the wall, and you hand them a 5,000 credit gun.
Yeah, that was actually just a really bad play. Unfortunately, Gary gonna pick up one. 3K for the opposing Jet, who just channeled all of Rishi's energy for this round, I suppose. Rain and maybe we'll find the last two. It's match point. San Antonio have no money. Good luck, bozos. A forced buy to stay alive.
Forced buy to stay alive, and San Antonio finding themselves in a very difficult predicament to be in. I'm not positive, but I had to guess this is a single elimination bracket, considering they are best of threes. No, there's double elim?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
GSL,
good.
actually.
So San Antonio not down quite yet. Down, but not out.
Yeah. So the winner of this game goes to play Blinn Esports, and then
oh, yikes.
Whoever loses the Blinn Esports game will go back down. So realistically, one of these teams probably qualifies, plays Blinn, loses, and then just they play each other again.
Yeah, the odds of that feel pretty high. Blinn is like one of the best programs in the country for Valorant. So, but hey, we'll get there when we get there. Feels like we're not very far away. We see a Sky at critical condition there. 2 members left standing otherwise on San Antonio. It's a 3v3, but Latoro only has that Sheriff in hand. Gets wide swung by Galaxy. 3v2 now, and they are walking through like a SWAT team right now, clearing every room, clearing every corner, and looking to wrap things up, but we are awaiting. Has the headshot onto Galaxy, and now Tasmanian Tiger goes out for more information. There goes Bubbles. It is up to 10 HP Wero to be the hero. San Antonio goes home with 0-2 from UT Arlington.
Seekers in tow. One guiding light on. Technically, the second could be up by the time they get here for the actual look in on the retake. Oh, these Seekers. Good for info, but they did just give him away. Unless Rain does not turn around. She is not. Why we're going to pick up a 3K.
No way.
Has the angling here. It'll be a pull as soon as he taps his spike. Space for maybe. He gets out of it in time. Why we're going to have the guiding light flash in. Doesn't connect, and the classic right click does. Maybe a 3K to close the door. 13-4 for University of Texas at Arlington.
Free gun, by the way, bro. You hate to see it. Not a circumstance you want to be in, not a spot you want to find yourself in, but a huge shout out to UT Arlington. They're almost losing map number 1, coming out and dominating map number 2 in a 13-4, and now they do go up against Blinn Esports, one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah. Crazy round 1 matchup for sure. Overtime 3, the difference on Icebox, but fortunately that was a map that UT Arlington don't play. When it came to a map that they do, well, it certainly looked like it. Can't say that any other way.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that is going to be not all we see from Arlington here during the Lone Star CECC 2023 qualifier. But for the time being, it will be coming back on the other side of this break. I believe we're jumping into a separate matchup, but we'll get to that information when we see you right back here in just a few. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit and pick, getting hit by the kid. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That clock has been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy! Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here. 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1. Oh, Spec
just
finds 3.
What?
Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
But like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad. And, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in the passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money.
Right.
Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you know, you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed.
Right.
Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilence, and let me tell you what, right away, if you thought last week's clips were great from weeks 1 and 2, your minds are going to be blown here in week number 3. Let's take a look at what these players brought to the table this week. We wanted a banger to kick things off strong in our 8th slot of the week, and let me tell you what, CU definitely coming in clutch. They're already up a couple of points, but they want to make sure they can walk away victorious in game number 1 with a pretty good pinch from Pancake.
Yeah. Ooh. Another good shot. Pancake with that shot.
Oh, get your syrup and your chocolate chips out, because this pancake is looking tasty.
With only 60 seconds on the clock, the University of Kentucky was feeling great. They'd already won a fight, Midtown was within their grasp as they only needed to secure one more fight win to full hold Bryant University. But Klaus knew, sometimes it's not just about winning. Sometimes it's about sending a message.
Yeah, they've got to move. There's the initial hack. Klaus down like the cat among the pigeons. And there's not a lot of coming back from that one. The fawn, it's...
RPI found themselves with their backs against the wall on bind. They were 2 round losses away from losing the map and the series being tied up 1-1, going all the way to map number 3. They needed a hero. They needed somebody to guide them to the promised land, and it was Moses with a 3-piece that secured the deal and won them their 9th round.
The team, Southern Arkansas, will make a free and clear take on the site unless Moses able to lock it down with a 3K. It's all up to the singular Briani, who's nowhere to be found.
TP, that must have been, he just walked through.
CU did such a good job this week that we want to highlight them not once, but twice. This time the attention pulling over to Larrick, who gives us a great aerial coast-to-coast play and seals the deal with what looks like a 0-degree goal to put CU just 1 point further in the lead.
Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful aerial goal.
Could have said it better myself. Look at how Lyric creates space. And the accuracy. Does it get any better than that?
It really doesn't.
For this next clip, we're jumping over to a Smash crew battle where things are looking good. All three players alive on both sides, and Bounce with 3 stocks against their opponent, Sam Kalta. Bounce finds an amazing snipe off stage to guarantee Sam's first stock be taken off the board, putting Bounce's team in the lead.
Unlike
That's very high. Oh, but that nice neutral B off
beautiful
stage.
snipe. You love to see that one.
Week number 3 was the week of Rocket League, the week of CU in particular. Lyric, just when you think this team can't come out any stronger, finds a 3-second goal against CMCC that just showed the dominance CU was willing to come out with here in week 3.
We are 3
Oh my god.
seconds into game
You don't get
number
much better
2.
than that. That was awesome.
Oh man, that was beautiful. Ceramics, pedal to the metal right there. Foot on the gas pedal.
With a 1-round lead on Ascent, Suni Canton was feeling a little bit shaky, and it was up to Lil J to make some big moves.
You got dash. Not gonna go for it. Get all the way out of that one and fake the dash away, so they know about him close. Well, the Roomba will give it away. Has tucked the nade though, so definitely gonna stay alive.
Party's
Okay,
over.
good. All right.
Spike down B.
Jinx, bro. Yummy soda now.
Love that.
Oh, the timing.
I like the gust.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, man.
Ace.
Classic Lil J ace on its way. Happy to have it. 5-3. Sunny Canton.
Things were looking bleak for the University of Kentucky on the 5th and final map, but the momentum started to shift when Klaus decided the chaos needed to end a little quicker.
Arrow, who just won't be able to survive on the point all that long. Yurik finds Rimru. High noon for 3 for Klaus at the last possible second to secure a cap and buy them a stay of execution.
And with that, folks, ECAC highlights of Week 3 have come to a close. Let me tell you, it's been a pleasure getting to reminisce on all these fantastic moments with you. Check your posture, drink some water, don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you next time.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. Corner judge is good for 1, 2. Yeah, he needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in. Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for week number 4 of the ECAC Top 8 Plays of the Week. Now, at this point, you're probably realizing 2 things. 1, that's right, I'm going to be with you all season long as we jump through the best moments of every week. And number 2, wow, Septilence really only wears one thing when he's not on the clock. And I can't even defend myself with a comfortable outfit. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into week number 4 and see what these players brought to the table to beat out their opponents and be victorious. Wake Forest was already up a game, there were 4 minutes left on the clock, and they just couldn't find that first point to take the lead and put them up 2-0 in the series. But in a final moment of success, Malone clears it from one coast to another and finds an open goal, giving Wake Forest the lead once again.
These Champ 3 and Champ 2 is doing. I mean, seriously, look at Malone making advantages for himself.
Wow.
And he will put Wake Forest on the map. This game number 5 could just go their way.
I just want to say Malone just said, I'm going to show you what a Champ 3 can do. All right, buddy?
On a control map in Overwatch, your team must capture 100% of a point to succeed. 99 just won't cut it. King Rock from Keene University was fully aware of that and didn't just find a death blossom. He found a full-blown death garden to keep his team alive.
Sound barrier to go away as well, especially now that you have your own. It's going to be a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't look like the one. Okay, there we are. Now it's coming up big. This Reaper has bloomed.
That was just gorgeous amount of patience. Coming.
GVSU Blue found themselves up by 5 rounds, and it's always better to turn that 5 into a 6. It's incredible, however, that this team doesn't always need all 5. It can come down to just one player and how much they can really GVS do.
An Illusion delivers with efficiency. 3 in a row. No time left, even if they had the chance at Orbital Strike out of the last.
This battle between Muskingum and St. Francis was insanely close. Only 3 players in a round, and there were 1 player left on both sides, both down to their final stock. Things were looking pretty strong for St. Francis, their Luigi only at 40%, but it was up to Splat to do anything but.
Just keep him off stage with that Zare. Oh!
If
that spot right here for Teo.
If that block didn't disappear,
oh!
No way!
Oh! Just steps on the
pressure plate.
A tale as old as time, Pace White versus Pace Gold, and Pace White's morale was through the roof as they won a fight, but little did they know, this was Lofi's world, and they wouldn't be living in it for much longer.
Going in with the blade.
Uh-oh, blade is out. It's hacked. It doesn't matter, though. Slashes away for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Looking for 4. Won't get it just yet on the blade. However, the slash and dash works out. Lofi's got 3. Looking for everybody else on this team. It's a white.
The Inkling versus Ganondorf matchup is not very good for Ganondorf, but let's be honest, which matchups are? In this clip we're going to be watching as JD from Fisher learns the hard way that you never really want to meet an Inkling off stage.
Sooner if you don't find that kill confirm or that kill or a bomb off stage like that.
That bomb angle
guarding is so good today.
Yeah, that bomb angle was beautiful.
Week 4 of ECAC Rocket League was absolutely insane. CMU and FC were tied up 0-0, but it was Gand who told FC they shall not pass game number 2.
Side of FC, they've only got 1 player for a moment there. They're trying to recollect, they're trying to reposition, but how do you position around a pinpoint accurate shot like this? Gand goes crossbar down for the first goal.
Adams in reverse, backed the defense off with that.
Whenever I'm on the mic for Valorant, you'll often hear the line, check your corners, repeated over and over and over again. And even with me not on the mic to tell them, I have a feeling this team may have learned that lesson.
Nah, he's got to take the shot.
Take it.
Oh yeah, sounds of teammates running on through and come on dive. The 4K on a completely unaware trio. And it's 11-0 right now.
And those are the top 8 moments we thought deserved just a little bit more time in the spotlight of week number 4 here at ECAC. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in what ECAC has going on, we got something happening nearly every day of the week. So check us out right here. Editor, it's a challenge for you. Wink, wink. And folks, this has been all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this, and we've got plenty of weeks down the line. Can't wait to see what comes of them.
And there's so many other jobs as well that can translate out of this experience in esports. The only path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And, us as well as all of our brand partners that we work with really recognize this. And I think that's really, a key driver of why brands are in this space. They want to be part of building that future workforce and leadership and shaping it and supporting it. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing, at least again from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paul, Lee, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting, that at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with, esports athletes, schools, programs in general. Because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right? Football player on the field, star quarterback. It makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school. It makes sense. But I think, nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing the space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that, your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there, and I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off, but
I think thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix, so it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last nearly 14 months now. It's an interesting term because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative, or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. But there is still a burgeoning marketplace for many more student athletes that are involved. About 17% of NCAA athletes are currently involved in NIL, but 65% more than that want to get involved and are curious how to get started. On the flip side, brands are challenged with a few different things in the space. There are 10,000 professional athletes in the United States. Once July 1st, 2021 hit, and you dump every NCAA athlete into that space, that's another 500,000. So brands that maybe didn't have a dedicated athlete strategy when there were 10,000, now have 500,000 plus that 10,000 to figure out how to activate who they are. That's a lot. I understand brands' hesitancy in some instances, but I can tell you that companies like us are on a daily basis educating brands and student athletes as to the software you can use, the types of activations you can get involved in, and how to utilize your followings, or if you don't have to or want to be a social media star, other ways in which you can monetize it. Now, I know I described that under the umbrella of the NCAA, but I see it as being
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it. Corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in. Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CECC Lone Star 2023 Qualifier. I'm still Cephalins, joined by Catinator, and we are jumping into our second and final best-of-3 series here tonight. Cat, both these teams coming in, not their first rodeo, and they're coming in with a lot to prove.
Yeah, absolutely so, and one of those teams proving quite a bit, right? Immediately, UH Premier out the gate, 13-0, 13-0. Just a series ago, took down SAG-U with full confidence, full stop, never stopped moving. Texas A&M, they had a bye. Technically, they 2-0-2. Getting here into this round. Pretty successful for both of these teams. Now, one team looking to push their way through to tomorrow.
Yeah, one team trying to make it into that tomorrow's slot, and this is going to be a difficult one because one of these teams coming in as warmed up as you can be, dominating 26 rounds in a row, and the other coming in off a bye, and that is not a circumstance you want to find yourself in particularly often, but at least you get to start fresh. The clean slate begins now, and we've got 3 fantastic maps coming at you in just a bit here. If I'm not mistaken, and there's always a chance I may be, we're starting with what I call the Collegiate Classic, aka Ascent.
Yep.
And I don't actually remember what the other two are. Oh, okay. Interesting. Haven and Lotus here. So, Kat, we talked a lot about Lotus earlier, and of course, there's not a guaranteed chance we see it today either. The other 2 maps, much safer options.
Yeah, both these teams have actually pretty deep map pools just in general. Like, they both run extremely deep, even for this set list, right? Looking at map number 1, we've seen UH Premier play this map 8 times in the last 3 months. TAMU's played it 7. They've won all 7. So 7 for 7 for TAMU, 5 and 8 for UH Premier. When it comes to Haven, UHP has seen it twice. They've won it twice. TAMU's seen it 4 times. They've won it 3. And then the closing map of Lotus, UH Premier, have seen it 3 times, have won a quarter of those times, have won 1/3 of their games, and then 2 and 3 for TAMU. So both these teams pretty even on all the maps in the set list.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be fascinating. Is, each time you said, okay, this team did all right, this team did almost just as well, if not a little bit better, it goes to show that both these teams are going to be warmed up. And Ascent, in a lot of ways, like I said earlier, the face of collegiate Valorant, because we see it so darn often. These teams have probably played it hundreds, maybe even thousands of times at this point. It's a map that everybody knows. It's one of the maps that people may call solved. Of course, you put that in quotes because the team comp is always changing and new agents are always being released. But I feel like there are a lot of safe picks we're going to be seeing here in terms of agent selection. Kat, who were you looking for on Ascent?
Who am I looking for? I'll tell you who you're going to see. I'll do it all. It's a mirror match competition coming out. Both these teams for the last 3 months have played the same competition. You're not seeing anything different. Guaranteed. It'll be Jet, KO combination. It's going to be the Killjoy, the Omen, and the Sova. Guaranteed.
Wow, yeah, so just the basics.
No questions asked.
Yeah, just the true raw basics team composition here. They're going to be going for the meta of Ascent, and I really like it. I like Omen a lot. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of love outside of Ascent, so it's always nice to see him KO as well, looking for that space to be made. And going into a mirror matchup, Cat, and I'd love to get your take on this because I talk about this pretty often, but, to each their own in terms of opinions. I always talk about mirror matchup can tend to be, instead of 1 5v5, it really can break down into those 5 fundamental 1v1s, right? And going into that, it can really, if one Jet is completely out fragging the other, you find yourself in a really difficult spot. But in terms of UH Premier here, I mean, it's just kind of looking at, I feel like if I had to, I'd say UH is playing up. I guess that's the point I'm trying to wrap around to, is that Texas A&M is a very, very talented roster.
Yeah, and I like that. I'll try to address both these points here as the agents. Like,
Yeah.
we don't really need to talk about. We already know what we're gonna see.
Right.
While TAMU, of course, we don't see them play a match earlier in round one. Just the fact that they are on that bye. Last match we saw UTA, right, and UTSA. Both of these teams recently lost to TAMU. In the LCQ, TAMU 1-0'd in the quarterfinals, UTA. And then in CVAL South, when we got to the best of 3 stage, it was an 0-2 or a 2-0, excuse me, victory picked up for TAMU in that department. So this team beat the last 2 teams by pretty comfortable margins. So even though we haven't seen them play yet today, there's a reason why they're seated so high.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I actually do want to call attention to this, and perhaps this is just my brain rot getting to me, but the only name I recognize on the side of TAMU is Aggro. One of the most impressive Jet players I've ever had the opportunity to see. I had the opportunity to cast him. I believe I met Aggro at Atlanta last year, but the rest of these names do not ring bells for me, Kat. And I'm just wondering if it's maybe a new roster this year, and I'm just now realizing that at the end of the year? Is it name changes? I really don't know.
Yeah, just like there is a couple players with a difference. So I think that is possibly either new players coming in this year, just finally getting chances to start, or just mid-season transfers. That are a lot of esports students tend to be early graduates.
Right, that's very true. Yeah, that's very true. So maybe this is going to be kind of a newer build roster, and with all these variables in play, and of course there's the chance that these are just rebrands, right, for name changes. But either way, I know that Texas A&M going to be trying to make waves early, and Aggro the one to do it. Never one to shy away from a fight. Look at that shock dart down to critical HP. KO goes out early, and it's going to be up to Koi here in the wings. A double kill before Aggro takes them down. Aggro with 2 Elans of their own, but a very strong start for TAMU.
Do make their way
I guess not anymore.
to the B side. Yeah, lost quite a bit of numbers, dwindled down getting here, but a low HP Jet does make this decently even. They can find the pick in time. Race Premier have a decent amount of utility come back into this one for sure, going to have that dark cover that's expected now into Boathouse.
UH, like you mentioned a moment ago, has that numbers advantage, but barely. I mean, that's one sidearm bullet from death. A great paranoia comes out. The smokes to cover. Relevant takes Aggro down, and with that power player missing, can Big Chilling find the opportunity to strike fast enough? That's already 2 down. You've turned it into 1v1. You have 10 bullets left. Puts the turret up, gets the wide swing the other corner, and I think TAMU should have this match in hand. Bullets go up, and Relevant goes down. Incredible patience from Big Chilling. They are fully ready to swing into the rest of this matchup.
It's a checkmate scenario if I've ever seen one.
Truly.
Turret up top has all the information, all the reconnaissance on the top of the green box. All you got to do is sit there and wait, and done just that. Going to convert that frag and going to convert the pistol round for Texas A&M. Wanted to go early into B, lost a lot of numbers, but got to sight now with guns advantage. Playing it again should give them pretty easy pickings into the site. It's a question of if Soli wants to buy the utility into this round. KJ loadout's decently expensive to fully kit, and they aren't going to opt for it. They'll just take the turret that is the ability that's naturally in your kit, and they don't really have the resources on to B, but since they played it so fast, questioning the stack aren't going to be there. At the end, he just got bailed out by Dan Backline.
You get bailed out, and that's exactly the spot you want to be in. At least you're still breathing, right? That's the consideration. Aggro has only a Spectre to their name, as it is only the second round of the game, and TAMU, you've got to respect the patience here. It feels like they had a plan, and they had to double back a little bit, trying to recalibrate for the time being. An A hit feeling increasingly likely, but 2 defenders fully prepared for this A hit.
Should be so close to range though, almost immediately falls on this contact. Has done just that. Aggro going to pick it up. That's the first pick converted for Texas A&M. Now a chance to head towards site. Relevant will be in the back line. Caught by the recon. Chance now is he going to step forward. Does pick up one for his troubles. Bing Chilling will take the last 2. It's a 2-0 scoreline for Texas A&M. Patience is key when you're playing the anti-eco.
Yeah, the anti-eco works out well, but this is the round where Houston is going to have these rifles online, and TAMU only carries in what they've brought to the table, including a Vandal from KHS, so a fascinating change here, a bit of a glass cannon moment, only buying the light armor, and even getting ready for a trade-off. Can TAMU win this? If they can, they can really begin to shake up and dominate momentum, but if they lose and we drop into a traditional 2-1, they're still going to have round 4 in their favor. Statistically, of course, not guaranteed.
See how the cookie crumbles as Texas A&M yet again pretty patient into this one. Got a couple early peaks at the first 10 seconds of round number 2, so are looking for it yet again as they continue to posture their way up towards Cat. Relevant going to be on the close angle.
Ooh. Relevant remaining just that with not possibly only a 2, but maybe even a 3K. Phenomenal cleanup from Houston here in a round where it truly matters, where they begin this momentum. Near flawless. Jivey will fall, but unfortunately not enough from TAMU to carry that out. Traditional 2-1 on the board now. TAMU's got the utility in hand, the economy in hand.
Yep. No struggle there, just the bonus round. They'll buy into this one. Rifles at their disposal. Interesting decisions not to upgrade to the full armor. Does mean, though, with that extra bit of money, if they do lose this round, they can buy into the next.
Right.
A lot of Vandals on the board, too, for UH Premier, so technically they're going to be one-tappable anyway. So the heavy armor doesn't matter nearly as much. It's something that we saw get talked about a lot of pro play, but we didn't really see a change get converted. So interesting to see the roster pick up this ideology.
Adam playing the choke here in Wine.
No charges left.
That dash comes to a burn, and I think they're about to be double swung. There's the flash, there's the recon bolt. You make it out of the way, but poor Jivey just stands out in front of the firing squad. Big Chilling takes him down once again, and it's a very slow burn approach from TAMU, but I mean, if it ain't broke, there's certainly no need to fix it.
Lucknow will catch the jet for now. Relevant from the shadows is going to go to the back line. Has a lot of space there. Adam going to get caught trying to get out that ultimate. Daniel will pick that one up. That's the second pick on the entry. Koi spam through, has found damage. Not a kill, though. Could have taken the spike down pretty early. Relevant's TP going to have value. Pick up one. Happens.
Take flight.
The spike already down. You're in one of those moments in which it's not always just about the eliminations, but it's about trying to beat the spike in time. And as Koi gets ripped out of the pond, poor KHS joins them in the spawn, and now it's a 3v2. Sorry, 2v1. Possibly 2v none. Can Sully clutch this out, or will it be a victory for TAMU once again? Drops in, goes for the wrong target, and it was Thini who would have gone down earlier at only 9 HP. TAMU, by the skin of their teeth, going to walk away with a third round victory. Okay, so unless there were name changes, we are getting confirmation here from production in the back line that this is mostly a new team from TAMU, Aggro being the only recognizable name to both us and them. And then it looks like they have moved into this newer roster of Aggro, Dam, KHS, Thini, and Big Chilling. But, I mean, I've got to say, Kat, this roster looking pretty good, right? Definitely looking to fill the shoes that the old TAMU roster left behind.
Yeah, I think a newer roster, yes, but they've been playing with that core 3 for about 3 months. So new, yes, but a decent amount of time. It's like this year.
Not super.
Yeah, this year, this semester, looking at this roster. And yeah, it's nice to see players playing on that B roster get a chance to step up, especially in collegiate. I think seniority rules rosters a lot of the time, so it's nice to see that opportunity come through. As Texas A&M yet again have come through into the A site. Plan has gone down. It'll be 2-on-2 when the dust is settled. Unfortunately, for UH Premier, they're looking at very low HP bars. They try to force through this retake. Coil fall. Sully doesn't want the same fate.
It's fascinating as well. I don't think we've seen the B site since the pistol round. So you've got to wonder if there's a bit of a mind game in that alone, of utilizing B site for pistol round and then not overplaying your hand, not giving your strategies away too early, as the A site seems to be where they want to play a majority of this game. Sully goes for the rifle save. Got to respect it, no doubt. You want to carry that into the following round. But TAMU does find themselves up 4-1 going into round 6 of Ascent.
Believe the last iteration of their old roster was for CVAL South Grand Finals.
Okay.
That is where the initial player swap came. That was about 4-ish months ago.
Interesting. This roster definitely trying to make waves here. And I mean, hey, the Lone Star CECC qualifier is a great time to show that you're really starting to fall into a concrete solution. A 4-1 lead, a 26-0. I mean, this team is definitely got a lot to work towards, but TAMU trying to answer back. Not quite a 26-0 of their own, but definitely trying to take a win here.
Drone through Cat. Adam playing the patient game. Gonna have a lot of information here. Has opted out of it though, so we'll take the early info, utilize it to reset the defense instead. Hasn't been the same sort of early defensive pressure from UH Premier since round number 2, and I can't blame them due to the fact that Texas A&M held so long outside of Gelato that when they did initially push up, about 20-30 seconds of time expended into the round, they were caught by so much firepower that it's made them play a lot slower defensively, and that's led them to the chance now to hold on site.
Holding on site in a pivotal moment. Bing Chill and Story makes some waves, and Theany's there to pick up right off the back of it. 4v2 in favor of TAMU, and I believe this is going to be another quick round closed. It feels like TAMU has really kind of found their footing in terms of opening slow, kind of getting the intel they need, and then just hard rushing down into site. It's worked 5 times in a row.
Yeah, back to A site, and why it's relevant. Going to walk into this one, a sheriff in hand, and caught by the hands of aggro.
UH has a couple of ultimates to work with. They popped the knives and unfortunately couldn't find much with them. Adam going currently for what I like to call the plastic cannon. Not quite glass, as you do have a little bit of armor, but not quite that classic steel as it's only light armor. So Adam really needs to get value with this one early on, and as it feels like, I don't know, you'd think Houston would start doubling down a little harder on the A site, even for one round. Try and go for a gamble stack might be enough to deter TAMU from continuously doing this. Okay, that would also work. An Op and a Vandal making some noise early, takes down 2 members of TAMU, and all of a sudden a 5v3 deficit. Not where you want to find yourself, but UH finally coming back to life in a critical moment.
Yeah, TAMU look for that tempo control. They've been playing so slow. Scaling into Gelato A main, that the consideration is this team has left, is not going to be playing close contact anymore, but that was not the case. UH Premier still continue to check all the boxes defensively. That ends up catching TAMU off and around where they try to switch things up. Bing Cheng was hoping for something out the one way. That opportunity, that window has expired.
Oh, Adam will fall. A great flank coming around from Tree there. Relevant falls to Bing Chilling as well, and all of a sudden this play that started off so strong for UH is really beginning to crumble. Ivy trying to clean up the pieces. It's a 2v1 in favor of Houston, and as that bolt comes out, the wall bang should do it. Going to be a very tough one for Dam to win.
Spike caught right now all the way out
You gotta
of
win this one in
main.
elims.
So from the shadows to work with, the dark cover going to be up in 4 seconds. Smoke off scaffold can get the spike, and then has the opportunity to TP to the B site. That will be the play.
No! Well done. Even if you lose this round, I'm impressed. I think that was a very intelligent play.
Intelligent play indeed. Is it enough to produce results in this one? Oh, man.
Oh, no!
Got to
Come
be main.
on now.
Has the cutoff now. Do they check main? Do they expect that he played this far up? The dark cover could have just given it away. Are they aware? Solely looking in the right direction at the right time, and it will be shut down.
I've got to say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed either way, but I think the dark cover kind of takes away from the legitimacy of the play. That was not going to be the most intelligent, but I think it was a bit of a panic opportunity. You're in a 2v1 deficit. They're going to burn out the spike for a little bit of action with 3.65 left on the clock. UH Premier putting their second round down.
A good look wasn't quite enough, and UH Premier will bail out of that one. They've got to win. They've got another round at their disposal. New op picked up. Adam going to look to continue to play close A main, to walk back in that direction. Aggro will pick up an op of their own. Hard to find value on the attacking side. We'll see what they bring to the table.
Houston gonna be trying the same strategy. It worked. You got a round down, so I can definitely see the confidence in it and the intelligence of the plan. But as that 0-point knife comes out, may have spilled a bit of intel. Owl drone into a flash force as Adam to move backwards, and it looks like TAMU is going to try to take that space as they can. Spray and a prey. Adam can't find that shot. A Hunter's Fury to boot. A fascinating play from TAMU. I know they didn't have the proper intel to make it work. You move out of the way. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Bing Chilling will fall to a bullet from Jivey. He took the op offline, though, and that's a huge play for TAMU.
Move just a little bit too early. Cost him everything there. Operator goes awry, and the difference between an easy hold or not. KHS going to find another They'll pick up the player who peeked out of Cat. They've got space into B now.
B site has not been the most impressive from TAMU so far. They're 1-1 for it for the time being. Boyd jump peeks the op, takes it offline, but unfortunately catches several more bullets to the body. 1-1 trade. TAMU has the numbers advantage, and poor Sully has to be a hero here. KO just right behind her. Does not have that catch. Maybe they double swing a corner, but I feel like we're seeing a really strong positioning from TAMU.
Walked down and made magic happen on the rotation before. I mean, that one was a 1v2 though, kind of hard to lose. Not gonna lie, this one a different story. Yes, Aggro will pick up one from deep. I went on 3 now, and Sully will grab the rifle and head away. The second time we've seen Sully save after the teammate goes down early.
Yeah, Sully just gonna go for a save here. Can't blame him. Hey, cool knife as well. Cool melee. I gotta appreciate it, but the alarm bot goes offline. You lose a lot of intel running all the way back for the op. I think it's a very intelligent play because obviously the most expensive gun in the game, not one you want to be paying for once again.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly put. Get it back out. It's been a big key for them holding A main, not necessarily in that round, but in rounds prior, specifically round 5. I am concerned if the op continues to play here. I think one of the biggest values to having an op on the defensive end is consistently moving it, so a team has to continue to expend way more util than they'd like to be able to take any space, right? It's a question of playing whack-a-mole. Where is the operator this round? We have to use util to find it, and this time it is going to move. It'll be on the mid control instead. That'll make things interesting.
Moving the operator around is, going to be a great call for a lot of reasons, right? You don't want to become predictable with it, and you want to keep the enemy team on their toes, because the second you become complacent, you're going to take the operator out of your hands once again. Boy, taking some damage there, shields get cracked, and TAMU wants to rush quickly into the B side. It looks like they're going to be able to do that, and Orthini just not looking the right way. Sully having a field day right now. A 2K out the gate makes it such a hard win for TAMU. They've really got to pull something out here if they want to stop this round win.
Field day indeed just hurdled the whole roster for TAMU. Damn, trying to get him out of pickle. Shot a step away. Aggro will pick up one with the offensive operator. There's a lockdown now to give them space to get out of the main. Adam gonna peek into trouble. Both ops not going to find the mark. Cloudburst to give them room. Sully snuck into log. Shots here. Shots on. 3-piece picked up. Both players to sight.
Both players to sight, and it's every time UH has the numbers advantage. Somehow it's turned around by TAMU. You've kept it close, but now you know you're running out of time. You've got to get aggressive, baby! And they just can't get aggressive enough. Bing chilling 6 HP. Can you get out fast enough?
No!
The timing! No!
Go get him!
No! Oh, no! Oh! Devastating. A clean ace from Sully, though. 11 elims in total, 5 of them coming from that round. It's the KJ show right now as both of them remain top frag on their respective side.
I hate you. The first thing I thought in my head is this the Killjoy show right now.
No, bro, we gotta pass the brain cell back and forth faster. We're thinking the same things at this point.
I can't believe it. Yeah, it is indeed just that, and I do not want to change the channel. Phenomenal stuff from both of these players. The lockdown just barely caught the mark, and fortunately for the Texas A&M post plan, they just didn't play very quickly getting back into that one. Like, they just weren't playing as a unit, didn't play fast enough, didn't have the ability to trade. They won't have the ability to trade early into this round either to not pick unanswered.
TAMU losing aggro that early is pretty critical, all things considered. I mentioned at the beginning of the game, aggro, the only player I really recognized going into this matchup, and one that I've never seen kind of fall silently into the good night, right? And they get taken out early by the opposing jet, the operator in particular, and Houston having a numbers advantage. It's worked for them a couple of times. They've really begun to claw back. They've made it 6-3 from what was once a 5-1. So the opportunity to find a 6-6 is very likely if Houston can continue to find these opening picks and this opening forward aggression. But TAMU has been really good about not letting this lead kind of get the best of them. They've been really good about making sure if they lose the numbers, they slow down their gameplay quite a bit. Boy, a bit of an overextension themselves, but I love the positioning read there to send the shock down out.
Sully, a 1v2 from stairs. This is bread and butter. Looking for it again. There it is. Good for 2 picks once more as the Killjoy Bing chilling with it all to do, and Adam will catch him early.
Wow. That's the blink and you miss it kind of round. I mean, that was very impressive from the side of Houston. They had the lineup. They were incredibly patient, and it worked well to help them take down Texas A&M.
This is
you though, getting pretty quiet.
This is one of those moments where you wish your IGL had a notebook in front of them. This is the second time solely CT Stairs picked up too. All you need is a fragment in that location, a shock bowl in that location. Just uproot him from that spot.
Uprooting the opponent, something we actually don't see as often as one may anticipate, especially when people get repetitive like that. Sometimes they get away with that play style, with that composition, notably longer than you'd ever anticipate. And for the time being, it feels like we're seeing a lot of that from UH. As soon as they've gotten this stop in their hands, they have not stayed silent for even a moment, Cat. This is really becoming more and more impressive as they take Texas A&M down every single time. It is aggro, the first one to catch a bullet.
KHS will grab another. So still on to site, they'll be gonna opt to head away from this one, recognizing all the defensive has already picked up this spot. I think they might lose the race though. Getting to this B side, it's a quick look, a push through towards mid. The Silva could be here on the cross in time. Gonna play pretty patiently. Setup negated thanks to the suppression. They have not opted to continue though. Tam gonna have spacing now. Not at his feet, but wants to play the close range stinger. Is gonna be here in spawn, has room, knows where the jet is, doesn't know of the other two just yet. He's gonna try to utilize this advantage. Adam not looking. Damn, sees the barrel shot on. That double rotation has led them to the first pick. A jump peek has confirmed on 2.
Really fascinating play there. You took the jet offline, and then you learned the hard way that she dropped that operator a little while ago. Dini gets the spike plant onto the A side. It was a very long game. It was a double fake out right back to the A site, and now TAMU has forced UH into a very uncomfortable position. It's gone from a 5-1 to a 6-4, and if TAMU can flip the script here, they can make it at the very least a 7-5 and give themselves at least that 2-round advantage going into the second half.
Recon is online here for this retake. It'll be used now. It's going to opt to clear out Hell. Will it ping? It is not. It's landed a Rye. That's given false information to this team. There are players to Hell. They're going to check anyway. Koi's found one. Looking for main. Not quite. Dan will pick that one up. An awkward 1v2 for Sully. Both so low HP, though. One good 180 can solidify this one. Spike so far away, though. Going to pick up the first. Time so short now. Both frags, but no time for the defusal. Texas A&M will take a 7.
Texas A&M, they bump over to that 7. That's exactly what they needed to see in a moment like this, as things were really getting scary. Sully, an absolute masterclass on this KJ so far. I mean, there was a time where they were tied up 11 elims to 11 elims, and now Sully's up to 15. Bing Chilling hasn't even been able to drop one more since then, let alone the 4 that Sully's been able to find so far. I think 3 of them, maybe even just 2 of them, coming out of that most previous round.
Really good defensive read early into that round to put the op so much farther back on scaffold. We talk about needing to consistently move it. They consistently were putting both Relevant and Adam so close to A main there. They got caught early, allowed for Texas A&M to walk right on the site. They played it farther back, had a good read early that Texas A&M were going to try to play for A. Unfortunately, though, he's got caught by a mid-round rotation. As City looking to catch one early. We'll grab 2, a third to go with it. That spike. Round's over.
Wow. Yeah, this round's over. That was fun while it lasted. Just the 3K out the gate. Takes the null command offline too. Chibi drops 3. KHS joins them back in the spawn, and now it's just this Omen left standing. I think, you know, you save if you can, but nobody's expecting you to.
Yeah, no point. Last round and a half. We'll swap things up to the difference.
To the difference, and that's going to be jumping into the second half now. Things looking pretty good for TAMU at the beginning, and then they really started to fall apart in those last couple of rounds. Will that story tell too once again in this second half of Ascent, or can UH really start to give TAMU a run for their money? It feels like this team, you know, you don't, what is it, 26-0 a team on accident, right? I mean, there's a lot of calculation and coordination to go into that. They've done that once. They're not going to be able to do it again here, but can they keep the win streak alive? This pistol round, I think, tells a pretty large story.
Yeah, and that second map for that 13-0 was Ascent. So that's definitely, they're definitely a team that can play Ascent and can play it very well, flawlessly. In fact, only 2 rounds difference right now. 1 pistol gets us back to tied numbers.
1 pistol can tie things up just as quickly. Damn. Oh, Adam. I mean, really just not missing a shot with this Sheriff, even with the op as well. KHS does find the trade. Poor Damn, 4 HP. Trying to get out of there, but boxing out Tree may not be the proper option. Houston finds themselves tuck and tail and rotating at least towards mid, at least if not toward that B site.
All right, so the call off early from UH Premier. It'll be a 1-1 trade with all things considered. Haven't seen them push deep into the middle of the map at all for the Texas A&M offensive. We'll see if it's a different story for UH Premier. Look to work their way towards that direction now. They'll be damn on Cat, jiggle peeking, gets caught with the shoulder, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean 4 HP, you're not going to get a one tap with the classic from that far away. Damn runs up, crashes the window, gets into Cat, and it's like UH open. Yeah, I was gonna say UH is starting to get the intel. Wait a second, if they're all over there, who's over here? About to learn the answer. Big ol' nobody.
Yeah, Big Chillin really relying on that alarm bot to be a massive deterrent in mid, and just was not. Broken through by 2 players. They walked right in. Damn, somehow still picks up 1. Right click's gonna come through. We'll make it a 3-on-3. Still very low omen on both sides.
3v3, but basically 2v2.5 at this point. I mean, damn, I think it was what, 4 HP, 6 HP, and Relevant still finding one before going down. KHS takes out Jivey, slowly gets the trade onto KHS, and all of a sudden, this feels very likely for our friends at UH Premier. Just one more headshot could do it. You got the paranoia up, but you know you're low. Can't run down fast enough. UH just 1 round away from a tie-up.
Damn, made that so much closer than it ever should have been. 2 big kills come off of a 4 HP omen. It's just not quite enough. Rest of the team could not pull the slack in that round. So UH Premier, as you mentioned, going to get the buy up into this one. This round can tie things up. We us right back to even score lines, and then it's anyone's game from there. A team that just 13-0'd the map, looking to reignite the flames here when it comes to round number 14.
Better late than never is a phrase we hear often in a game like Valorant, and UH wants to use that mantra for themselves in this moment. Tying things up 7-7 could be critical, as they have been in a deficit since the very first round of this game. Tying things up, going as far as maybe even taking a lead, could be huge to help this team find success and improve their chances of a win here on Ascent, a map they 13-0'd on earlier today.
Early drone through, has seen nothing. It's just aggro. Sitting back in A main, he's giving the position away. Nothing to be done here for the Jet. Gonna dash to site. No off draft to get out though. Will sit hell, biding their time.
Biding their time, trying to make sure every choice is the right one, but aggro walks into the wrong bullets at the wrong time. Koi gets the elim. Houston has the numbers again, and Big Chilling with only a classic to their name. Vandal's got their name on it.
That's fine. Gamble stacked on the eco. Unfortunately, they busted, so wasn't to be. Tried to hit on 18 and cost them everything. As this is a wide open cleanup. KHS going to take 1 back just for their troubles before they go down. Tied up we are. Gun round on its way.
There we are. The tie-up round is going to be a gun round in favor of TAMU, as it looks like UH gets to bonus a couple of things over, but all things considered are not going to have the full arsenal that TAMU can bring to the table. And the gamble of this round, Cat, is the fact that TAMU is going to be buying all 5 rifles, leaving them with almost nothing in their economy. They're 100 credits total for the team.
Yeah. A round they definitely would like to walk away with a big bonus to be converted for UH Premier, all things considered. Adam gonna sneak under the one-way dash the wrong way. Brother, you went forward. It's where the bullets go, not your body. Aggro's gone.
Aggro, I mean, and Cat, we're starting to see a pattern, man. Aggro has been the first blood a lot of times. I don't even have the number for you, but like too many in my humblest of opinions as a caster here. But all things considered, I mean, Aggro, like I mentioned, a very powerful, impactful close quarters player, but he really has not even had the chance to breathe, as Houston always has his number.
Yeah, they've been quick on the call out and the reads. Most definitely. Dark cover deep down mid. They're going to look to take this alarm bot. This is a good conditioning for UH Premier, even if they don't want to play the mid space. Just consistently working this alarm bot to try to get the defender to step into that space. And since you do have the omen right there, chargeable smokes, it only costs you 1 smoke that you're going to get back for the actual execute anyway. Paranoid's going to come through. Here's the contact.
Contact online. It looks like KHS is going to find not 1 but 2 headshots before falling to Koi with that spray and pray Spectre. going to be a pretty large opening for TAMU, one they've needed for quite a while. And the goal, I think, of UH right now is to make this as expensive a loss as possible. Taking down, I usually kind of consider 3, more than half to be that expense. But unfortunately, only one member goes down. Bonusing 4 rifles into the following round makes it a little less of a weighted load for TAMU going into it. They don't have to deadlift as much moving into round. Hold on, I can do it. 16.
You got it.
I did it, man.
I'm proud of you.
I knew I could. I should
big
need one extra
milestone.
second. I should need 1 extra second. I had it.
It's a big Setflin's milestone right here.
Thank you, everybody. Check. We clip that. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't clip me.
No, someone clip
math.
that. Say
I'm joking.
Setflin's
It's a bait.
passes
It's
math
a bait.
class.
Hey, math's hard, man. Math is not easy. I think TAMU's kind of learning that same lesson. They're learning, oh, wow. 5v5 is a lot easier than 4v5.
Try to pop flash early into the A main space. It did not work out. Because unfortunately, like, even though the defender there is full flash, they recognize that you're flashing forward and just don't stop shooting.
Yeah.
Because they just have no reason to. It led to a
Gotta
double
respect
dink.
the hustle, but...
Yeah, it led to a dink on both players. And then a good cleanup from aggro that comes down from Wine. Was sipping on UH Premier.
5v3 now for TAMU. So after a couple of rounds, I've also noticed a distinct lack of timeouts from either side, which I thought to be pretty interesting. Nobody's really taking longer than mid-round discussions to kind of decide what they want to be doing next, and you've got to wonder if that's biting either team. So far, though, TAMU really starting to feel better here. It's been 8-7. It's been close, but they don't want to make it any closer than it's been. It was a 7-7 game. They do not want to lose that deficit if they can help it. And this round so far, unless UH gives us a miracle, I think this is going to be another one in the pocket of TAMU.
Sully had the room, had the turret for the early information. Couldn't find the shot, though. Relevant 26 HP. He's got the spike. He's got a bit of time.
Easy win?
I don't know about that one.
Easy win coming, for sure, for sure. Look at him, getting that blade ready. Oh, maybe not.
Not even going to attempt, so it'll be the Vandal save for Relevant.
He's got a Vandal, right? Yeah, you might as well
9-7
tuck in here.
Scoreline for Texas A&M.
Nobody's going to get to Wine in time. Look at them all bunkered up in B boathouse back there. I'm not sure what their plan was, but I think they were also just trying to save their weapons for as long as they could. 9-7 on board for TAMU. Possibility of double digits. Could be happening in just a moment.
Our money low for US Premier. Little half buy around this Vandal, and I wouldn't be like the biggest hater to Relevant giving the Vandal to somebody else.
Heard. I think that's a very real analysis. I think, Relevant hasn't been a bad player by any means, but Sully's got almost a 20 bomb here in round 16, or I guess the start of round 17. So yeah, it's going to be a circumstance in which like maybe someone else can get a little more value with that, but also I get it. You're the one that saved it, right? You're going to be the one that wants to use it.
Well,
and you don't
this
get
round.
to.
Caught through the dark cover. Adam will grab one back with the Blade Storm in hand. Someone else has surely grabbed that rifle. Still things doable thus far for the team down in terms of weaponry.
Ooh. I like hiding there when I play Raze on this map. I think that's a fun spot.
All right. Well, stuck in mid now. Couldn't work the extremities. See, US Premier opt to pull out the hat here. Still a bit of time. That dagger going to confirm that KO was somewhere around the mid area. I'm going to split this one maturely, 2 and 2. We'll have an equal amount of players on whatever site UH Premier decide to finish at. Fragment lane has not caught the value. They're going to try to take spades. Double flash drive. Damn, caught out. He also shot. They should know.
Wow!
Does not matter.
I'm shocked Jivey got that E-limit all. I'm going to be honest. I thought that it was not going to be a freebie, but instead they do take the Omen down, get another rifle off the board. But like you said, doesn't really matter. The Econ's pretty stacked on the side of TAMU. Even if they lose this round, got maybe even 2 more before they have to worry about economy. However, the same cannot be said for Houston. I guess they'll have a losing streak bonus, which is nice, but not exactly the thing you want to be looking for when you're down 10-7.
Yeah, certainly not. 3 rounds in a row for Texas A&M. That is also the difference in score line between these two Texas teams. Full buy going into this one. This one will break the UH Premier Eco around they need to win.
Certainly around they're going to try to put a win on top of. Aggro goes in early, really starting to take a dom down peg a bit. We saw Aggro lose every single Jet 1v1 the entire first half, and I don't think they've lost one here in the second half. Damn finds Relevant 2v2 on the board. Koi gets the long shot. Bing finds Koi, and it's a 1-1 matchup here. I think the location of the spike is unknown to this KJ. Oh no, she's in on this. She gets it.
Spike retrieved. It's a good shot here to take the round, and he'll do just that. 11 HP, the difference in that firefight. UH Premier bailed out. Can they get a buy into this round?
A bit unlucky, all things considered. 11 HP, I mean, part of a bullet at that point, half of a bullet. What is it, a third of a Vandal bullet to the body was at 33 HP? I don't know. Anyway, it was close and unfortunately not going to end in favor of TAMU, but we've got a lot of ultimates to work with here. However, UH has almost all of their ultimates to work with here, so you've got to wonder if they're going to start dropping any. We critiqued this kind of play style last series. We talked about a character or a player sitting on their ultimate too long. You don't want to see that from the side, but then you also don't want them to use all of them in the same round either. It's a very careful game to play, a very precise situation to be in.
And he's gonna pick up one. Chilling a trade. Shots on for the defensive, and they've won absolutely everything. Dark cover to try to contain the last two players. They're gonna try to shoot their way out of this one. Slowly does manage to get one back. Ult here, but certainly not to be utilized.
4v2 TAMU. Very patient games. We know the Omen and the KO are both less than a bullet from death. And is this going to be... Oh, great dodge from Relevant there. Simple but incredibly effective play. Weird time to spray, but you gotta respect the hustle. Double dark cover comes out and creates a bit of a sloppy Venn diagram. Allows some opening space. KHS puts them both down like a single man firing squad and gives TAMU their 11th round win. Only 2 to go here, Cat.
All right, Aggro, where do you put the op now, my friend? Towards A main with it. It's gonna be scaffold, so they'll play this one a lot slower.
Sure.
It's interesting because they've been pretty decent about controlling UH Premier by making brazen defensive plays early in the round. So someone's clearly pulled Aggro's leash. If you remember last gun round, we got Aggro on the top ropes outside of the tile wall.
Yeah,
took it for this break transfer.
A little lost in the sauce on that one, I think. Bit of an overextension. Perhaps the way Sully just gave us another example of an overextension. Walks right into the Phantom on the side of Bing chilling, but I think Houston also has this kind of lack of consideration for their own well-being going into this round with an incredible weapons disadvantage. I think they're fully aware that statistically, this round is theirs to lose.
Yeah, it's looking for early space, and unfortunately, neither of those picks were able to convert it. Aggro, so patient, but it will not be a virtue for him here. It's the A site opened up. Have to play for retake instead. Gonna pop Bladestorm here on the anti-eco. Wants to guarantee the round. First 2 blades have gone awry.
Yeah, fascinating to see an anti-eco Bladestorm. I think, yes, it could work, but like you've got some pretty good weaponry to work with right now. The numbers advantage still in their hand. A completely just empty opportunity there of a Bladestorm. Could have done better with the operator. Adam finds another, and it's going to be a 1v1. Dini has the Vandal available. The lockdown's up, and uh-oh, you've got to find the Elim. You're able to do it. Koi just can't get out of the way in time, and that's another round win for TAMU. Possibly our penultimate round of the game map number 1.
Match 1 achieved for Texas A&M. UH Premier going to be back to the full buy here in this one. You shoot the lights out. Last chance here in map number 1. A lot of ults to work with. Hoping to see them go to the chalkboard here to draw this one up. They've got time. They've got room. What do they opt to do with the amount of ultimates they have?
What do they opt to do on the side of Texas A&M as well? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's an op. Again, from Aggro. Pretty high success earlier. Pretty low success in the most previous round as they tried to Bladestorm and fell silently out of the equation. But going into this round, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on against them, right? If they slip up on this, their economy can start to fumble. They can start to turn things around, and it can be a difficult situation to be in. But They want to win this one. They want to wrap up map number 1 and make themselves halfway done with their goal here tonight.
Nowhere to run.
Early Hunter's Fury comes out. Adam is going to be able to find that recon bolt, and Hunter's Furies are pretty darn quiet. Shock Bolt does find Adam, deals a little bit of additional damage, and gives the intel that that jet is at least nearby. Aggro holding the tight angle, praying the spray doesn't hit him, and Relevant, a phenomenal one-tap, takes him out of the equation and gives UH a very real chance of being able to win this round.
Hunter's Fury going to stall the plans. Then you're going to take one back. Damn, another. Blacktown's going to come through now. Immediately broken, though. Is Jivy going to trade another back? I was thinking about the flank for the Omen. Recognizing not going to have the time for it. Going to have to go through door instead. Teammate of the Sova stuck on scaffold for quite a bit of time.
Can TAMU clutch this one out with a numbers disadvantage? Dark Cover comes out. I like this fake. Oh, what a great read from Damn. It almost turns into a disaster, but he turns it into a miracle, and all of a sudden, it's a 2v1. Let's make it a 2v none as poor Koi. Certainly not in the pond any longer. KHS takes them out of the equation, and TAMU going to be able to win Ascent 13-8.
A team with a flawless Ascent record in the last 3 months will continue the winning ways. 8-8 now, with all things considered. Since January, this team 100% of the time have won it out. UH Premier going to fall to 5-9.
5-9, not exactly the spot you want to be in, but at least it was a relatively close game. You know, it certainly was no 13-0. The team's incredibly neck and neck back-to-back, but going into the next map, Cat, that's what things can really turn around. It's another safe map. It's Haven, and I know that both these teams are going to be using this upcoming break to discuss what team compositions and what play styles they'd like to bring to the table. So we'll see you right back here with what could possibly be our final map of tonight's CECC Lone Star Qualifier. See you right back here in just a bit.
I think there are massive opportunities for people with followings to be able to use that and connect with brands. I think a company like us can help you to do that. And then beyond that, we can make sure that those transactions are safe for you. I think there are opportunities, not just at the individual competitor level, but at the program level to have a sponsorship go to that. I'm sure some of you out there listening and watching already have deals like that in place, but I think we can continue to enhance, augment those deals and make them more comprehensive and make them, first of all, I think product deals are perfectly fine, but I think we can get beyond that and grow some of these deals to a greater extent. Paulie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, what you said is right. So I'll put it in for layman's terms here for just the esports players, because I talk to so many of our athletes that compete in our CECC series that are currently still in college. And basically what when Mike Blewett says NIL, what he's referring to is just very simple. If a brand or any sort of anyone wants to use your school's name or your brand or anything with you, there is a deal for you that can be put in place, whether it's product deal, whether it's a paid endorsement. You can, whether you're a macro influencer or whether you're a micro influencer, you can be paid for your services. So most of the people, when I talk to them, most of the, I won't say people, college athletes, they are, you know, intimidated by the word. They don't really know what it means. They've never done anything with it before. And that's what it means. Any single time a brand or anyone at all wants to use your name or do a deal with you or do some sort of activation with you or your school, that's basically what the layman's terms, the NIL meaning comes from. And it's evolving in this space. There are so many brands that want to associate with micro and macro influencers and just get people involved with their products or their services. So all of you, you know, collegiate athletes out there that are competing in esports, keep, not only are we trying to broker those deals, but also keep your eyes, ears open, and don't be shy or scared to take these deals, because that's what I've heard the most, is that most of the time they're just scared to take them. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're locking themselves into some agreement or terms that they're like going to give their name away or something too. So this is a really important space, and it's how you're all going to physically make money and build your brands along with company brands. So it's really important to learn, and my advice is to just get your feet wet. Don't worry about shying away. Read the contracts and take some of these deals, because growing your own brand is the future of what our industry is going to be, in my opinion.
Exactly. And if you follow in the pro space, you'll see that the pro teams are not only focusing on competitive play, but a lot of them are focusing on their brand and their cultural importance in the space. And so you know, one of the things that we do also is help athletes build their brand, build their following. And that's part of what Paulie and Kyler are doing on their side when we do this behind the scenes training. And so, you know, building your brand, this is the creator economy. Anybody and everybody can be anything they want to be. And so we just really want to be the conduit that supports that across the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. With that said, thank you everyone for, I think, like great insights in terms of, for any of you that were watching this and maybe had questions about, you know, what is Esports U, what is CSMG, who are they, what are they doing, what are our plans, right? Well, you know, we know we kind of tried to make a bigger splash in the spring, and we're excited to bring more stuff with you guys for the next year. But I think maybe as we close out here, I know we're slowly approaching on time then, but maybe let's go around the room with everyone here of just what's one thing that we're all excited for this next upcoming year. I know we touched on our plans and a lot of things, but if anyone had to speak, if you had to speak to just one thing of just what has you excited for us as a company, for us as the collegiate or college esports space, right? What's one thing that has all of you guys excited? And maybe we'll start with Mike, since our traditional sports guy, and we'll let Mike speak first.
Sure. So I would say many things on the traditional side, but I'll focus on esports. And I'd say the thing that I'm most excited about going forward is after yet another year of us doing a round of events, I'm excited that more schools will understand exactly what we're doing with our regional events and culminating in CECC and getting more schools involved. I think schools will be more excited to compete in our events because we've established it over the course of a year, and I welcome any and all conversations with getting people involved.
I think for me, I'm most excited about like the schools and conferences, Mike. That's amazing. And that's so exciting. I'm also excited about the brands that we're starting to be able to get involved in this. In our Commissioner's Cup in last May, we had over 14 brands, blue chip brands participating in our event. Barbasol, Microsoft, CDW.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to CECC Lone Star 2023 Valorant Qualifier. I am Sepulence, joined by Catinator, and we're jumping into map 2 of our last series here tonight. Things getting a little closer than maybe we had expected here. UH going up against TAMU. TAMU winning out with, I believe, a 13-8 victory on Ascent. But Cat, now we jump into the secondary face of Valorant at this point. Haven, a very popular and very familiar map.
Yeah, this one should be pretty close as well. UH Premier, a flawless win rate for them in the last 3 months, 2-2, 3-4. The story for TAMU. So this one should be just as close as the Ascent was. When it comes to recent playing, it's just about the same. And the TAMU loss was to Alberta in the LCQ, and that was an overtime 2 game that they lost. So that went all the way down to 16-14 scoreline, pretty close with all things considered. So anyone's game here in this one should get, I believe, a slight compositional difference, but pretty much the okay, that's not real. So don't look at it. Don't look too close. It's not real.
We got to talk about a player difference as well.
That's not really
My friend Aggro has been swapped out for main roster player Noble, who has returned to the matchup. So at least Noble will get to, or at least Noble will get to get some playtime here. Holy cow, my tongue is not working today. But like you said, Kat, both these teams have shown us pretty early on they are not unconventional teams by any means. They're going to be sticking to the most meta composition, to the most popular composition, and they're going to see if they can make it work. So far, it's worked pretty well for Texas A&M, and I've got to say, watching Breach gameplay has grown on me. I think it's actually quite fun.
Grown?
Yeah, I didn't like it originally. I still don't like playing against it. But watching it, I think Breach is really fun.
Yeah, I think Breach has an incredible control of Haven specifically. I think early fault lines, like the rechargeable nature, giving early space, especially towards A-long, whether that's defensively or offensively, through A-link to get deep into long and lobby, I think it's super convenient. And gotta talk about the Rolling Thunder has immense impact. I mean, for a long time after Fade's first introduction to the game, I think a lot of players replaced what was the solid crowd control of Breach with Fade, and we've recently come back around to Breach, and I think it's looked just like the better option. It gets things done in a way that is very good at being the solo flasher for the team, which allows for recon information to come back out, because Sova is just the best when it comes to reconnaissance.
Sova is truly the reconnaissance boy himself, and Breach, like you said, kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. Got almost what I call the Viper treatment, because she's kind of the first agent I think we ever really saw that with. Was there was a new agent introduced, there were a couple of changes to, you know, the agent being Viper or being Breach in this circumstance, and they fell to the wayside. And then after a little bit, everybody was like, oh wait, no, they're still pretty good, let's give it a try. And the try usually works out pretty darn well. So Breach returning to the the front lines, excuse me, is pretty exciting. And TMU trying to wrap things up early here, trying to put a 2-0 on the board in terms of maps. But UH, like you said, they certainly are no pushover here on Haven.
All right, no pushovers. One team unfortunately has to lose at the end of the map, though. See who that team ends up being. Can TMU close out here? Move forward for an easy picking day tomorrow. Damn, early coming through that paranoia. Going to step forward.
Ain't no way.
With the Shroud, and is able to pick up one. Adam going to trade back, so spike down, but recovered quickly.
Dude, Koi just gets folded there. The paranoia into the shadow step headshot. I mean, just disgusting, but it is unfortunately only a 1-1 trade at the end of it. So now UH Premier do not find themselves in a good spot, but same can be said for Texas A&M. The bright side is Haven is technically attacker sided, so UH definitely feeling at least comfortable. Things have fallen even.
All right, walk up to grass for UH Premier. There's an alarm bot here. It's pretty deep though. Being chilling, I don't believe is spotted. Alarm bot going to be the Q, and they spot it. UH Premier, they're going to head to C instead.
Great paranoia onto Noble here on the back line. The flash comes out as well, the smoke to catch, and for Noble walking out into a firing squad right now. Still gets an elim onto Sully, being chilling there with the cleanup, and now Adam caught by that fault line. A team ace, the first one we've seen of the day.
Yes, sir. Everyone gets involved for Texas A&M. Clean ones all across the scoreboard. They take the pistol. There's a little extra money in everybody's pockets if they want to go a little harder on the buy up, and we full armor for everybody coming out of this one. So no sheriff shenanigans they'll allow into this round. See if they move the defensive proposition at all, knowing they're going into the anti-eco. A lot more resources. Never mind. I say a lot more resources ahead to A. Theania actually going to play for lobby control instead.
I think lobby control can be pretty critical here if played correctly, but there's also kind of the error, and I think this map having 3 sites is, of course, kind of part of the reason for this, but putting yourself into the wrong position can, of course, be detrimental, and sometimes clearing that lobby is not always as critical as it may have seemed. Double fault line comes out. Everybody still left standing, but a lot of folks taking a heck of a lot of damage here. Oh, wow! Okay, wow.
Still room to work with here. Jimmy trying to wall bang. Caught by KHS now as well. The Bulldog out for more. 180 for Adam. Going to pick up one before the inevitable shutdown. A little extra confidence for the Jet going into next round. Texas A&M lead now by 2.
Texas A&M a 2-round lead, and it looks like they've got not a whole lot to work with. Going to be carrying over all the weapons they have as the game naturally calls for, and it's a full buy for UH here. But Kat, I think the interesting thing about Haven in particular, and part of the reason it's one of my favorite maps to watch, is the defense can really get away with an incredibly patient play style. I think this map does reward a lot of patience on the C and A sites, maybe not as much as on B, but when you have a worse weapon, it personally, I feel like, doesn't matter as much if you're playing slow, right? If you're playing patient.
Yeah, if you find the right openings, any tool can be useful.
Exactly.
Premier going to walk up pretty quickly in the scaling towards A, now towards site.
Ooh, great flash. Paranoia comes out, being chilling, able to take out Adam. Takes out Sully as well. Bullet to the brain. And I mean, that's a great example of how positioning made the difference. It's going to be a 2v2 here, and
all the guns are on site.
I was going to say all the guns are, I'm not sure any of the guns are grabbable, and I don't think they are. A quick flank up from Sewer. Oh, one of the best skins in the game. Just throwing that opinion out there. There's oh no! I cannot believe Relevant gets that shot off. That is absurd.
Relevant able to take down a big look. JV to close the door as well. Cloudburst tried to come through to give Noble spacing to pick up the Vandal to recuperate just a little bit. But saw the Tracers coming through, saw they could just be a little quicker and get a shot through the smoke. Wasn't quite able to happen, so unfortunately can't quite find the bonus, but they got a lot of value. Took down 4 of the 5 rifles into that round, so a much lighter buy for UH Premier. Light armor is on the cards for Texas A&M, but they're a team that likes to play light armor purposefully, so not really a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that light armor buy as well, and it's something that we've been seeing a little bit more at the pro level, at least the discussion of it, of kind of how good is heavy armor if you kind of back to our healer discussion, right? Like, you're gonna die anyway. It can really come down to the comfortability of a player and the agent they're playing on. Just like Noble here, really looking great. A double kill out the gate makes it 5v2 in favor of TAMU, and they're looking to make it a 3-1 lead.
Same alarm bot. Still not yet broken for UH Premier. Don't want to give away the second player over towards grass, as information is going to be here in terms of garage. JV will break it now. Texas A&M has scaled all the way through A lobby. The defensive end going to be fully behind these 2 players. Yep.
KHS just, yeah, wow. Complete and total flawless from TAMU there. That's the exact position they wanted to be in that moment. Nobody going down, bonusing 5 rifles into the following round. And, Cat, I think at least 4 of them still had their light armor. I mean, that was genuinely flawless.
Yeah, not a scratch for this team. And now, got a little extra money. Said, go ahead, you know what? Get the on-brand cookie and not the off-brand one, because they're not our sponsors, so I'm not gonna say what they are, but I think the joke still works.
I laughed. I thought it was funny. I still got it.
Thank you.
Good joke, good joke. But I'll tell you what, TAMU right now, they're showing us they're no joke, because they are pulling no punches against UH. This is not a circumstance you want to find yourself in, but I feel like Haven is a fascinating map. You know, I feel like this is the type of map where a single round fully can flip momentum on its head, and it doesn't have to be a team dominating the first half. However, TAMU dominating the first half is the name of the game for them so far. Will this story be any different from UH Premier?
Saying Texas A&M just played on half armor, played with the off-brand office chair. Now the zip chairs under their seats. This one should be a shoo-in for them.
Ooh. That's just timing. Koi just walks out, takes a bullet to the back of the brain, and not the lineup you want to be finding. Owl drone from the heavens there. Noble takes out Sully. I didn't even get to see Sully before they went down, but shot comes out. Another one from Noble just walking out into sight. The running gun takes him down, and TAMU's 4th round is a quick one at that.
Just ran through all the utility to be there on site. Was wanting to be the first player to get the kills and is able to convert. In terms of the retake, Texas A&M going to be up 4-1 now. UH Premier back to rifles into this one. Texas A&M can lose 2 rounds in a row and still have buys.
Oh man, never a spot you want to be in. 2 rounds in a row, still having buys. It makes it very difficult for this team to care about their own well-being, because they know, economically speaking, they're going to be good for quite a while here. KHS, the first player to break double digits, 10 elims in 5 rounds, jumping into round 6. Let's see if they can farm that Hunter's Fury up a bit more.
What are we cooking? Texas A&M going to walk out of garage. Paranoia forward, damn shotted step, just like the pistol round. And they picked up everything. 4 players to fall. Solely the last standing, trying to shoot the lights out, bringing them back into this round. Has picked up 2. KHS drone for early information as Damn will walk up. It's the distraction, and it's the shot from the Omen. 4 rounds. The difference eco broken yet again.
There's something so mean about that Paranoia, and I can't even put my finger on what it is, but it's just so in your face and aggressive, and there's so little you can do about it, truly. Unfortunately, UH is caught out by, we're looking at a 5-1 scoreline. This is the exact scoreline we saw on Ascent before UH started to come back to life a little bit and put several rounds down of their own. Will that story reign true here once again, Cat, or is TAMU just looking for the 98% speed run?
They are certainly moving. And at quick velocities, I will say.
Maybe even grooving.
Quite a bit of ultimates for UH Premier. Hard to utilize them in a round with such limited utility, as Noble going to pick up one early out of sewers. We'll fight for more, and we'll get just that. Adam Solomon, next on the hit list, has stayed alive.
Adam Solomon takes down Noble there with the headshot. TAMU might be in a bad spot here as KHS is completely caught out by two members of UH Premier. Driving in a dom, wide swinging Sewer, and looks like Theny needs a little bit of help, Sewer, but not enough to end the round. Omen v Omen, Jet and KJ standing in the back line there. Never mind, no longer relevant. Bing Chilling, it does give them that 2-1 advantage, and or a dom by their lonesome once again.
Dom has some room to play off of here. Heard the steps, and Nanoswarms are going to come out. Damn, we'll grab it at the final cross. So picked up indeed. UH Premier falter in yet another round. Back to guns in this one. Now I like the micro play there.
Agreed.
Damn, being close enough garage to hear the noise come through allows for the Nanoswarms to get popped. But because Bing Chilling pops the Nanoswarms, if you're Adam, you don't expect Damn to be there.
Right.
Because the Killjoy utility got expended.
Yeah, you think, okay, that's a cover up until they can get here, not someone's waiting on the other side to put one bullet into me and you go down. It was a very intelligent play to dash through them as well, I think. Adam did all they could do right. They just got red. I think, unfortunately, the misread was there against them.
Round 8 on the cards. UH Premier going to take this one. It's a bit slower. I like the way they postured everybody towards spawn at the beginning, just in case there are some TAMU shenanigans. I think they've learned that this team likes to do a lot early the hard way. This time they're playing much slower, they're playing much farther back. It's very rare that we see teams in control of tempo on the defensive end.
Yeah, very much so. And I kind of referenced that at the beginning, right? I talked about how Haven is technically, mathematically an attacker-sided map, so you've got to wonder if this is how the attack is going for UH, can the defense go much better? I'm going to guess this was TAMU's map pick, but I actually don't know. But as close as the win scores were, actually, I think this could have been either team's pick. Okay, KHS finds a damn early on. It looks like Hunter's Fury from the back line as well. Got to be real careful not to hit a teammate. It's a bit of a crossover here as another Hunter's Fury comes out. Lockdown to boot. It's going to get destroyed. Now a Rolling Thunder. Every ultimate under the sun right now, Cat.
If you're looking to guarantee a round win, doing whatever it takes. Your flash is out, still pushing out a CT. Noble to pick up one, looking for help. Caught by Koi. A 3-on-3. The initial dust does settle. Lockdown, no detainees. Bing Chilling out of heaven, looking for one. The second two. Great paranoia. Damn to close the door. Texas A&M, fantastic on the even-numbered retake.
I mean, damn if he do, damn if he don't. Texas A&M's 7th round win on the board. And Kat, I do want to talk about the critical importance of the amount of ultimates we just saw. So we saw a similar play back on Ascent when UH Premier was down. I think it was 5-1 or maybe even 6-1 at the time. And I was very critical of it. I said using that many ultimates in a single round can be dangerous. I don't know if it's going to make it worthwhile to get that round win. And then they went on to win, I think, 4 or 5 more within the next 6 rounds. So they were able to flip momentum by throwing their entire hand out, by going all in a single round. But unfortunately, they go on all in this time. The bluff is called by Bing Chilling, and TAMU walks away with the pot.
Decent buy coming back into this one for UH Premier. Texas A&M going to have the operator and of course full armor in addition, so light advantage when all things are considered. Another slow start to the round for UH Premier. Nice. Very nice.
Indeed. This is exactly what UH needed, especially after expending 4 ultimates in a single round to take this critical of a numbers advantage. KHS only catching, I think, 2 bullets there, so 76 HP, still a lot to work with. And as a free plant has to come through into B site, 2 members left standing. If they play their cards right, this could very much be winnable for TAMU. It's not going to be easy, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility quite yet.
Just barely on the outside of that smoke. As it dissipates, to be able to pick up one. Heads up play from Noble. Throws the alarm bot on purpose, then hard scopes garage, thinking the Killjoy might be there waiting to peek off of the utility. It's not the case. Nothing found. Op going to hit the floor as Koi will take him down.
Looks like it'll stay there.
Yeah, attacking side. No
That's
real
true.
reason for the
That's true, yeah.
I have money. I'm just such a little op gremlin that I always grab it, and when other people don't, I'm like, oh wow, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot not grabbing it was an option.
So US Premier been keen to switching things up just due to the defense showing consistent different looks. And that round just kind of hit a couple shots.
Yeah,
opens up space because
definitely
defenders are
we started with a Jet 3K, 2K?
2K.
Just right out the gate, it was, I mean, a 2K made it very easy for UH to keep that numbers advantage. Let's see if they can pull that off again, though. Can the Dom get in and kind of make that same space necessary? Doing that once every 9 rounds isn't exactly going to put a win on the board for you, so they've got to show us a little more confidence in this aggression.
Danny Noble going to open with the first 2 picks for Texas A&M this go around. Spike going to be recovered. Takes a dark cover to do so, though. So 30 seconds played, 2 picks. They've been coming through pretty early. Most of these rounds, it's just contact comes through. Whatever team wins ends up winning the round. And UH Premier was them last round. Unfortunately, that has not been the story most of the game. It's a 5-round differential they're sitting on right now.
Alarm Bot goes down early, and TAMU keeping their numbers, returning back to that patient play style we're so familiar with. Noble takes out Relevant, falls to Sully, who drops a 2K now. Really close to the gap.
No clear back of sight.
No clear, and Bing Chilling gives themselves away with the Elam onto Sully. Jivvy, 5 HP. Just not sure you can do enough here. Yeah, caught between a rock and a hard place, so I guess a rock and a dam, and the dam puts you down easy. TAMU, 8th round win on the board, going into round 11. They've got to be feeling good here. A 10-2 is in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and these ults for last round are definitely possible as well. We haven't really seen them scale for them for the most parts of these games, so there is a chance that they don't actually get them online, but still, you got KHS, Noble, Bing, all players who have had consistent 2K potential throughout these throughout the early parts of this map are going to have the chance to pick them up going into this one as well. UH Premier are going to pick up as much light armor, or as much full armor, excuse me, as they can. 2 light armors going to be in the inventory for this team as they'll move over. They've been playing a pretty stagnant default. This one's going all the way into garage, hoping to make a quick execute.
Oh, Adam might become quickly executed if they stay in here as long as they have. It's a bit of an overextension, but it looks like the team is going to be able to get there in time. Dark cover gets them into garage. Relevant with the first blood onto Noble there. First time in a while we've seen the CECC getting this kind of attention, but it looks like they're not even going to be committing to it. Bit of a fake out.
All right, Adam going to find value. They don't commit, and they instead find a couple frags on the B side. Bing Chilling still holding back. No clear again. Second round. He's converted here. A 3-piece for the Killjoys. Just flipped this round on its head. Looking for a 4th and has that one as well.
No way. Only one left in her locale. Unknown, but not for long. The Omen sneaking up, and Bing Chilling gets the Elim. Shot at the dam, letting her have it there. That's going to be an ace online for Bing Chilling. 14 Elims in lobby. The KJ show comes back for a 2nd season here on Haven.
I mean, that's twice now that Bing Chilling has just sat on the back of the B site. US Premier walked in previously. It was not checked by Jivvy, so Sully was caught out behind. The only reason that Bing Chilling was found was because he did take that first shot. And this time, Bing Chilling sits on the back of the site. US Premier walked through. They try to go play to A-Link. And Bing Chilling ready for the straight shoots. Instant bowling of the strike. Picked up down the lanes. It's easy as can be.
9-2, a 10-2 half is not going to be an easy one, but I hear an Odin somewhere in the mix. We see only a Sheriff in hand. We've got the intel. Adam just running through the dart. Noble takes down Koi. Adam pinned into the corner. Gonna catch a couple of bullets to the body, but it's actually a 2K in favor of UH in a round that started critically against them. Adam down to 11 HP. Sully gets on the site. Drivey goes down, and looks like Sully won't be long for this world either. Bing Chilling, another phenomenal play. Not quite an ace, but a round win regardless. 10-2 at the half here, Cat.
An 8-round differential. UH Premier need a fire lit under them to start this one off.
The half comes to a close. Nothing changes, and now it's going to be a difficult circumstance to be in.
All right, Texas A&M thinking about where they want to go on this one. Took a couple seconds, and with that extended halftime break, you have a couple seconds to consider where they want to start this one off. The choice looking like the C split, going to play quick garage.
I think playing Garage is a really fascinating pick here because they played Garage a lot on the defense, especially in the early rounds. That's where they did that Paranoia 4-man rush down guarding combo. And it worked pretty well, and coming in up through Garage already gives them a 4v2 numbers advantage, but not for long as Sully's able to find one, Relevant puts down another, and all of a sudden this is going to be a very tough round for Texas A&U to win, A&M to win. Relevant, a 4K trying to fight desperately back into Relevance. Definitely not an attacker-sided map from the stats we've been offered so far today.
Okay. They got themselves the pistol round, a round they needed to pick up. That's going to give them some space here in this one. Phantom going to get picked up from Relevant, the player who grabbed 4 kills. Going to have the extra money to force it in light armor. Needs to get it into the next round. If not him, just somebody on this roster needs to pick it back up if it does go down.
Gun here.
See what the case ends up being for this team, but a good bonus will go a long way.
A good bonus can definitely find or go the distance, rather, in a circumstance like this one. It's exactly what they need to find in a moment like this. And if Texas can make this happen here, if A&M can find an opportunity in a round that they should lose for every definition of the word, that's where things go from bad to worse.
Slow start to this round. Texas A&M. Fault line's going to come through. Let's not move defensive players away. There's no actual contact just yet. Recon down A long. Don't quite think the defender Sewer would hear that, so they will expend a drone at the very least. Looking for info here. It's been about 45 seconds in this round. That's the first piece of contact. As Relevant will take Noble down C long.
Again, Relevant. I mean, that is Relevant's 5th elim in 2 rounds right now. Really a bit of a power player here on the defense. Bing Chilling walking into an unfortunate angle, looking the wrong way. Sully gets it for free. 5v3. Dam finds Relevant. That's a Phantom on the ground. Adam takes out Theny. Bod shot from KHS. It's another big weapon off the table there. The Guardian falls into the grass. Great Gaia skin, but the Ares takes them both out, and UH puts their 4th round win on the board. Starting to feel the momentum swap pretty aggressively here, Cap.
All right, so they get 3 guns out of that. That'll lead them to the bonus here. It'll be full rifles for Texas A&M. I think if you're UH Premier, you probably opt to buy around the rifles you converted. I think Jibby should have a rifle here and not a Spectre. Hopefully that decision gets made by somebody quickly. I think you're in a situation where you can't really afford to say this is the bonus. Let's just give this round away. You're down too many rounds.
Every
but that
round
call
is critical.
Is theirs. Texas A&M played what is the slowest eco you've ever seen, but I think it was very smart because it teaches them what the defensive setup for UH Premier is.
Yep.
So they got to see very early that it's the Omen back of sight. They learned, thanks to that drone, that the Sova's on A. They pick up a lot of good early information. They also learned that Sully is CT, so he's over on C as well. And that's going to use, they're going to use the information now to go take the C split.
Fast push up from UH here. Does allow Sully to find 1. Koi Relevant, and Sully putting down 3 more. And all of a sudden, it's this poor Omen left standing. Dam takes out 1, finds another. Oh, the shock dart fully crushes the dream of a counter ace. I mean, maybe Dam goes for some hero plays, but yeah, I think that shock dart was just so perfectly slotted. You've got to try to go for a save here. Maybe an exit frag if you can.
Fake the runaway. No one really in the vicinity to hear the audio cues, so they should still have guns trained on this position. Adams peek, gets him caught. A lot of damage done. Jivy known about, just looking for that 3rd player.
Nice try,
it's a tap.
MT.
A Vandal wins that fight tough. Koi will pick it up instead. It's 5-10. UH Premier convert the round, keep 3 rifles alive in good spots, winning a bonus.
NT Gamerino did your darndest, but sometimes the darndest just not enough. TAMU now losing 3 rounds in a row, Cat, and there is the first timeout of the series. Texas A&M, I'm going to be assuming they're the ones calling it, but I don't know who Yobagoya is, so I have to guess. Nice, nice. See, I'm a genius. I know what's up sometimes.
So it's like right above his name, Sam.
No, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that word means.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
There was all a guess. It was all a guess.
So Texas A&M played a slow eco, learned about the defensive setup, still looked decently surprised by the Omen. That paranoia, though, was pretty solid. Caught 3 pretty early. Kind of shut down the attacking side for it. They could really even begin. Put Sully up on the alley-oop, and you're just able to slam those frags home. So see how they move here in this one. They haven't done much in terms of early A presence. The solution might be to look there. Also, you mentioned Relevant's been kind of the hot hand for UH Premier's defense now. So
Absolutely.
if you can avoid the site the Omen's on, that wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Yeah, just getting out of the way of the Omen, I think, can be really critical in a moment like this. Keeping the opportunity to slow things down a little bit, try to take him offline, or to try to stay out of his LOS. Relevant has 10 elims. I know that at least 5 of those have come in the last 3 rounds. I mean, even more so, I'm almost confident that it's 6 or 7. Relevant had a very tough first half and really starts to play a stronger defense, which is where I think Omen can traditionally get more of his value. I think his kit does lend himself pretty nicely to the defense, and maybe UH is just a defensive-sided team here. TAMU's got to change something, though, because it has not been an easy first part of the second half.
Koi's drone info on 2. They tried to catch him in the util. They've done just that. Jimmy picks up everything from Sewer. 4 kills in all 5.
Oh my God.
Converted for the breach. They managed to stunt his teammate, but he will not be stifled.
That was probably the cleanest ace we've seen today. Definitely the fastest. That part is hands down, but that is probably the cleanest ace we've seen today. I cannot believe how impressive that was. The coordination from the team just winning that round in fruition. And I mean, UH is really starting to close this gap, Cat. If we get to 10-8 or 10-9, even a 10-10, I mean, at that point, a 10-10, TAMU might have to pass this map over because UH needs stops. Momentum is unbelievably in their favor right now.
Caution here.
Texas A&M back to A, even though JV just put on the clinic and how to hold the site. They won't stay for long. Looking to reposture yet again. Nothing quite working for them early in this attacking half. Even out of the timeout. Early drone is going to come through towards grass. It's been broken early. Or actually, excuse me, just fell early, so didn't really find any value. Definitely didn't spotted him on the top, and definitely isn't going to know about this ridiculous Killjoy setup from UH Premier. Interesting recognition from this defensive team. Well, they went C, they lost. They went A, they lost. Maybe they come B.
Yeah, you definitely got to respect the acknowledgement for sure. It's like, yeah, A and C didn't work. The interesting thing about Haven, one of the few maps in the game that allows you a third choice. Bing chilling. Perhaps a Bing overextension here. But instead of silent game for the time. The jump up and out. Shock dart in. Recon bolt falls. And there goes the ace off the table. Boy comes down, and Adam will be able to find Noble. KHS gets the Elim, and TAMU really had to slow down the pace of play, but their odds of a round success seem to be doubling here. Just 2 more, and both of these remaining players have dropped an ace here on Haven.
These guys are no jokes. The defenders of the C site working now towards A for the retake.
A lot of util used early. Now they have absolutely nothing to work with except it from the shadows. Trying to check all corners. Theany wants to play in the smoke. Oh, Relevant gets bodied for the over-aggression there. Sully has nowhere to hide, and TAMU winning their 11th round. Now 2 rounds left for TAMU to move on to tomorrow.
Tried to Shrouded Step, just got caught by the timing, jumped into the smoke to TP, and as soon as he jumped into the smoke faded.
Yep.
Terrible timing on that one. Unfortunate. Really, Texas
Truly
A&M going to have almost every ult, just missing the lockdown here in this one, and very close to the ult markers here. The farthest difference being 2 for Jivy for UH Premier. So we'll have everything online very quickly, especially if they can grab these early frags yet again. But Texas A&M have finally broken the attacking side slump. Can they snowball that into a victory?
Can they find the snowballed victory? Only need 2 rounds. Hypothetical 10 eliminations. And like you said, Kat, plenty of ultimates to work with. It's not about the usage. It's about the utilization and the execution of these ultimates. Pressure's definitely on for TAMU here.
Can they sniff this out? There's a 3 stack right now for UH Premier on the A. It's just
Hunter's Furies.
and
Both of them.
in Garage. Hunter's Furies going fishing. More value for Texas A&M. Koi going to find a kill, though, afterwards. Noble step through, and the B side has found one. Where do they opt to go here? Do they stay towards B? Do they work C length? They're going to stay B. The Omen's going to walk through C, going to have a flank. Timing going to be everything into this round. It's Rolling Thunder going to come through. They want extra space.
Oh.
They have to fight back into sight now.
Thank goodness Theny was there, though, because Noble was going to lose that fight.
They have to fight back into sight now. They give it away.
It's a little uncomfortable when you know one of the three members is most likely going to be leaning into a defuse. You put yourself into kind of a 2v3 situation, and it pulls focus, it splits things around. I like the rotation background from the Killjoy to make it impossible to look at all the enemies at once. TAMU now second round in a row, possibly penultimate round. Can they win out this final round?
Goodbye here. Takes ults to get the job done.
Takes a lot.
From the shadow won't really matter. Now there's 4. Those ults we mentioned were in the process of creation for UH Premier. Desk guarantee orbs. Jibby's able to grab a pick before he went down as well to guarantee both. Now they've got all these online, certainly need to be utilized in this one.
From the shadows. Early from Tam, a Rolling Thunder as well. Theny, the first one to find a bullet. Relevant goes down just as quickly. 4v4. Dam has a flank into the C site. Might catch Sully here in B link, but turns around. Gonna get timing diffed, and Sully puts him down. A connection into C. 4v3.
You should run.
And with a lockdown to boot, things looking a little better for TAMU in terms of biding time.
Yeah, they're gonna play the slow game here. Wouldn't be crazy to see a lockdown come back the other direction. Drone's gonna come forward. Seeing the early attention. Adam's going to pick up one advantage here. Turns to 2 players for the retake.
Blade Storm from Adam. Quiet at that. Koi jumps into sight, finds Bing. Sully takes down Noble, and that's UH. Winning their 7th round. They stall in a critical moment there at the 11th hour. Their swan song yet to be sung. 12-7.
Alright, they hold on. Still a couple ults to work with. These teams, from the shadows, going to be the case for Relevant. A lockdown came through just at the end of the round, like as the last pick was coming through, but sometimes, especially when you're on match point, you just got to guarantee a round win. So
Yeah,
they managed to win the round. You take what you can get. Texas A&M found some openings. I argue towards the C side, a lot of that was ultimates. Holding that B side, a lot of that was ultimates. Can they do it with just rifles?
It's fascinating, right? Both teams have had kind of a round where they overextended their ultimates and they kind of guarantee themselves a round win. But now that they've both done it, nobody has those ultimates at hand. And wow, I cannot believe Relevant is the one to walk away from that fight. 11 HP on the board. And it almost feels like Dam has sown a little bit of false doubt about the C site. The Omen was there alone. Nobody was there to capitalize. And as KHS tries to be the hero towards A, oh, no luck there. An open C site could be huge for TAMU as the only defender sits at 11 HP.
Yeah, a hard one for Element to hold, and he'll recognize as well. So we'll have to play just for the audio confirm. Instead, still the 3-stack for UH Premier on today, and Texas A&M have at least been able to realize that one. So they've got some room now at their disposal. Take site in addition, and looking to hold post plant to win this one out.
A flash comes out at the bloodbath here on the back of C site. KHS and Sully going to be able to find a trade. 4v3. KHS finds Relevant with a shock dart. He's going to get another one onto Adam, who's looking in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It's the KHS show right now, and there's only one member left. Ivy just can't hit their stride in time, and Texas A&M wins 2-0 over UH Premier.
Came up big. The Sova in the final moments there. TAMU managed to take it on home. Told you they were the 1 seed for a reason. UH Premier 26-0 last series. Forget all about it. They got to do it again. They beat SAGU in round number 1. Now they drop down to the lower end of things to play SAGU again tomorrow for group round 3.
Oh, that's the SAGU. I'm so sorry. That's so unfortunate. You got on the bright side, SAGU should have a little bit of intel how to not get 26-0 to this time. Fingers crossed there's a little bit more of a scoreline there. But either way, I mean, a huge congrats to our friends at TAMU because they really showed up. I mean, they really did a great job. Things were unbelievably close, but they made it work and they found a way to find success in moments that really did feel to the wall. It really felt intense. You know, you got to think in moments like that, Kat, they're probably jumping up out of their chair.
Yeah. jumping up out of their chair. And hey, man, what chair are they jumping out of? Perhaps Zip Chair and Dream Seat, because let me tell you, the CECC Lone Star Qualifier is brought to you by those two brands. They're the official gaming chair of the CECC. Hell, I got one right here. And if you want one of your own, head over to zipchair.com. Elevate your gaming chair today and tomorrow. We've got round number 3, followed by the semifinals at 9 p.m. Central Time.
It's going to be a banger. And folks, we will see you right back here for that. A big thank you to all the teams that came out today. A huge thank you to Colton, our producer, Magic, our in-game observer, and of course, all of you for watching. We love each and every one of you. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other, and we'll CECC you tomorrow.
We're offering them a platform that not only gives them, you know, a big event, a big yearly event, but also regular daily programming where they can have exposure in front of this audience that they want to build affinity for with their brand. So I'm super excited about seeing the brands get on board and help grow the space along with us. A rising tide lifts all boats. And I think that's probably one of our mottos here at CSMG and Esports U. We're growing our brand, but at the same time, we're also really growing the college esports space as a whole. And that's our goal, for it to be a healthy ecosystem for all parties involved.
Yeah, I agree there. And I guess for me, obviously always, you know, seeing the collegiate esports space elevate, coming from competing, this didn't exist when I was competing, and just to see it now in literally within the last 5 years probably really come to fruition and start just blossomed out of nowhere, and now becoming a space and seeing everyone, schools, players, productions, companies all elevate together has been really, really nice to see. But if I was the most excited for one thing, it would probably be the city where we're going to land for CECC 23. I'm really excited to know where we're going to be. There's a lot of great cities. I mean, I personally would love for it to come to New York, despite whether we got a positive bid or not. I want it to come to New York, but I just think the atmosphere in New York when you throw an event here is just super magical, especially in the summertime. But either way, I'm really excited to see where it lands. Tons of great cities, tons of great opportunities, and yeah, who knows? And I think that's going to be the most exciting process for me.
Absolutely. I won't speak to anything. I think I'm filling Paulie's job in this one because Paulie's more a panelist than this one. So, you know, normally Paul's the host, and I don't know. I think me personally, I'll just say something real quick. I'm just excited to keep telling your stories. If you're a student, if you're a program, let me know. Let us, reach out to us. We just ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to tell your story, and I think that's what has me most excited, because now I think we're getting to a point where people know us. I hope you guys trust us. And and we just want to keep expanding and growing the space. So with that, Paulie, I won't make you do the weird thing where you got to toss to yourself, unless you want to do that. I don't know. Actually, you might have a way of doing this. You know,
right.
Let's test it. Yeah. Okay.
Right,
how do you want to throw to yourself here?
Well, that's going to conclude here the future of collegiate with CSMG and Esports U. Thank you so much to Angela, Mike Blewett, and Kyler Tandle for hosting our panel. And now back to myself for the day 3 of the CSMG Coaches and Director Summit 2022.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another ECAC weekly highlight clips. Now I feel like I've been saying this every week, but this week in particular is full of some really unique kind of once-in-a-lifetime plays and clips and moments, so I'm super excited to jump into it with all of you. We're kicking things off with one of my favorites, Overwatch 2. University of Albany finds themselves back against the wall, 1/3 of the point already capped, but with a lot of great communication and a little bit of teamwork, they're able to snipe this fight back quickly.
Controlling these fights, and now are able just to go with the blade. It's gonna get one, gonna be able to get a few with the cleanup as well. It's just near team kill are gonna come out. There it is, Loose Milk getting taken down.
Clip number 7 almost takes us back in time to Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where we would see Diddy Kong versus Meta Knight all the time. But unfortunately, EJJ from St. John's is about to find out that Benedictine was not kidding around.
Great catches Billy with the carry, dude. Oh, almost gets the Nero shield. Oh, 5. Yo, oh my god!
Ooh, and not enough height. Yep, that was really well done by Kid there.
Number 6 here in week 5 is going to be an amazing play from Wayne State. Amatsugachi finds a huge needle thread and guarantees the first point goal for Wayne State against their opponents.
I think I've seen this play before. Amatsugachi just waiting for the ball to plummet down in the zone, the scoring zone that is massive dunk to get Wayne State on the right foot.
I'm super excited about clip number 5 because it feels like the first Valorant clip we've had in a while. It's coming out from our friend Doodle V on the side of SFU. Uses every single knife in a Blitzstorm. It just can't find that elimination, but luckily enough, still had one knife in the chamber.
Swinging in from the backside, they're going to be able to swing on this one. They do have a sage that's behind them as well. EK is going to be able to give big value. They are able to maybe get the defusal. It's still beeping. They're still dropping. They have the right click. Trying to knife him. Oh, they jumped him like a ninja in the night. Oath is put on their back, and it's just that.
Sometimes as casters, we get a cool opportunity where a player's name matches up really well with what they're about to do, and I can't think of a better example than Bad News being the one to deliver that game-winning goal against Keen Blue in the 4th game on the side of Wayne State.
For him, double tap every time. Massive.